Wow, let's get our breath back after that, eh? Good evening, and welcome to the Final Word Phoning with me, Majestic, and experienced Premier League manager, Alan Pardew, and we're still coming down from what was a Premier League chaotic classic encounter at Anfield as Manchester City's title charges back on with a 2-1 win against the champions Liverpool. But what happened in the last couple of minutes will be discussed, not for days to come, but possibly years, depending on what happens in this title race. What happens if Arsenal win the league on goal difference by 1 goal? The goal that was chalked off at Anfield in ridiculous circumstances. Liverpool and Man City fans and football fans in general, we want to hear from you on that VAR decision. 03 717 22 3344. Elsewhere, there was a huge win for the Eagles, and it was another frustrating weekend for both Newcastle and Spurs. We'll get stuck into those games later on. Remember that talkSPORT is bigger and better than ever. Come watch us live on YouTube and your smart TV from our brand new luxurious studios here on the 17th floor of the News Building in London. I was away last week, so I'm glad to catch up with Pards. There's so much to talk about between now and 9 o'clock when the Trans Europe Express rolls into town. 03 717 22 3344. VAR, you party pooper. It's good to be back, Pods.
Well, it's good to have you back, Madge. We always miss you, mate.
Yeah, I was in New York. It was nice to be on last week in my New York setting. I was like, I'm in New York.
Yeah, that was a good show. We squeezed through it about you.
Had a good week?
Good week. Yeah, lots of football.
Yeah, loads of football.
Loads of football. Went to Fulham yesterday.
I know, I missed out on a little day out. I apologise for that.
A little bit of a talkSPORT day out, but and Everton come through. Which was a very similar to today, game of two halves.
Yes, absolutely.
And very much like this Man City-Liverpool game, where Man City were terrific first half, Liverpool perhaps better second half, and then we get this result. Bizarre result, really.
6 points behind Arsenal, there's 13 games to go. Today, in that second half, and the names are going to throw at you, Bernardo Silva and Haaland.
Yeah.
That's what Manchester City have in their arsenal, excuse the pun. Should Arsenal be worried?
Well, now, yes, because of the manner of the way they've won it as well. That's because, right. They've gone to Liverpool. They're a goal down. They've come back. They've won it 2-1. They've got 3 points. 13 games to go. Believe we can see games out right to the end. Or, that stat about they hadn't scored in the second half in this calendar year, which was bizarre. So, they've put a few demons to bed today, and the momentum is right with them, as it is with Arsenal. So we've got a nice chase on now towards the end.
Well, we've got an incredible week of Premier League action here on talkSPORT that with full coverage is going to be absolutely brilliant. And we see Manchester City hosting Fulham on Wednesday evening, I believe, before Thursday night, where Arsenal go to Brentford. So Arsenal could go into that Brentford game with Man City only 3 points behind them.
Yeah, I mean, and as you say, we could be at 9 points tonight, couldn't it? Could have been,
yeah.
So, that just goes to show you how football changes so quickly. I mean, the ending of that game, if you're in your car and you haven't seen it, you've got to see it when you get home. It's just astonishing.
Yeah.
Astonishing ending. I can't remember many games ending quite so theatrically. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a third goal, it's going in. Oh, he's not. He's going to get stopped. No, Harley, he's been fouled. Oh, he's fouled him. Then it bubbles over the line. Then VAR get involved. My goodness.
It's one of those moments, again, where, for me, VAR, I use the word party pooper.
Wow. I think that's very kind of you.
Yeah.
I could call them a lot worse.
It's just so unnecessary, right?
Ridiculous.
Those two are both battling it out for that ball. They've both committed fouls. Just go with the goal.
Yeah.
Because now what we've got a Liverpool player, it'll be a free match ban?
Probably, yeah. I should think so. Straight red.
Straight red is a free match ban, right? Clarification on that, because, of course, it wasn't it
wasn't a violent one. I think it might be one game. I'm not sure. But all I do know is he was the best player on the football pitch today. So
alongside Donnarumma.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was terrific. But, if you're talking to me about a cultured, a midfield player playing at right back, playing out of his skin, out of position, I mean, wow, that takes some doing what he done today. And then he's got sent off in a moment of desperation, really.
So who wins out of sticking to the rules?
No one wins there. Football doesn't win, for sure. That's the big loser, football. And the fans around the world, Premier League fans who love the Premier League, must be looking at that thinking, what's all that about?
Yeah.
Mustn't they? I mean, that's it's without the stadium going, because Liverpool quite happily would have conceded the third goal. Well, not happily, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it is what it is. I think right now Liverpool would give them that goal and keep their player not suspended.
100%, Madge. 100%. What a manager would, for sure. So There must be loads. I mean, everybody must have a different view of it. I mean, there's so many things you can think about at that game. The first goal is unbelievable, isn't it? It's like Roberto Carlos transfers to Anfield.
Yeah.
Into a right back. I mean,
it's not the first time he's done it this season.
No, and he has got tremendous power. Me and Scott were talking about Donnarumma. Obviously, chose to have two in the wall, not to have a big wall because he wanted to see it, knowing he's such a good goal, he's going to save it. He never got anywhere near. Well, in fact, he didn't move.
No, you don't save those free kicks. No. It's as simple as, really. Yeah. Like I said, Liverpool fans, I'd love to hear from you guys about that, because you lose your player now, who's been a makeshift right back, who did a great job for the sake of what? Following rules.
Yeah.
The rules are the rules, Pards.
And Sam was right. It was just on, obviously, doing the show earlier. It was the on-field decision was a goal, so the VAR have got involved. It's just a shame, really. For I mean, it's not the end of the world. Don't get me wrong. It's not like something that's going to really pain us for the rest of our lives, but it's just a shame. Just shame. What a brilliant match it was, and it's ended on a sour note. That game had no right to end on a sour note. It was a brilliant game. Brilliant.
Right. Listen, it was brilliant, and I'm sure you guys have so much to talk about in various different forms. Of course, the number is 03 717 223344.
Yeah, I know the end bit.
I've got it in my mind. I say it in my sleep. 03717 223344. You can text us on 81089. Of course, you can WhatsApp us on the same number, the 03 717 223344. The phone lines are now officially open. You are now free to call us. Feel free to call us. It's not free to call, but feel free to call us. 03 717 223344. Madge and Pard, stop moaning about VAR. Only Wolves can moan. We tried to get rid. 19-1, the Premier League vote. He's got a point. Big up to Rich. It is the final word.
Let's focus on Chelsea. Liam Rosenior back pages again. Rosenior hits out at Arsenal. Chelsea head coach accused the opponents of disrespect for disrupting his side's warm-up before the cup tie.
I wouldn't come out with that, me.
I guess he was asked about it.
Bat it away, use your brains, use your head. Say, mate, what's your point? You saying that costs the game? No.
He got a bit excited, didn't he? Really, you saw if you've watched the video. I'd love to see how far onto their side of the pitch they were, because they didn't pan round, did they? They just showed him giving a bit to somebody. You didn't see who it was at. You didn't see how far they were into there. If they're right in their half and they're constantly doing it, then I get it. I understand it, but still, it's just calm it down.
Rosenior mentioned that it could be mind games, though. Do you believe that the Arsenal players were creeping into that half to get in their heads, or was it just a genuine?
They've done the job either way. They've got in their head either way.
Well, now he's talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Arsenal were favourites to win that game for me. Why would you? Nah. Maybe you might say, look, you know the rules, stay in your own half. But nah, I think we're looking at a big problem here that's not a problem.
Yeah, I don't think they need to resort to doing that, Arsenal.
Yeah, he said in the interview, I've never asked my team to approach on the opposition's territory. I didn't think it was right. Where they were operating, they were affecting my lads' sort of warm-up. What's your thoughts on Rosenior? I'm
still a little bit waiting for it, to be honest with you. The results are ultimately going to be the thing that dictates whether he's a success or not. Some of the things he comes out and says, obviously the world that we live in now, social media, they're so quick to make memes up, honestly, Alan. I don't know if you're on Twitter, Instagram, any of this kind of stuff.
A little, but not really.
It's brutal, honestly. It's a brutal place to be at times. They are so quick at making these memes up, David Brent and all that. And that, I think, subconsciously...
Good evening. It's the Final Word phone in here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, alongside experienced Premier League manager Alan Pardew, as we are here every Sunday from 6:30, taking on the weekend's action of Premier League. So many messages and phone calls are coming in about that VAR decision. So many people, people are like, well, you had your chance. Only Wolves can moan about the VAR because they voted against it, and the Premier League went 19-1 in favour of VAR. But Rich, I can moan because I didn't vote for it to stay, nor did Pards. No. So we can have our say. It's not the referee's job to decide which is the best outcome for Liverpool. So Bosley had that choice to make. He made it. Now he will pay the price for a bad choice. That's from Danny. Fair play, Danny. Right, let's go to the phone lines on 03717 223344. I've not spoken to her in ages. It's nice after a Manchester City win because, of course, going into this title race, of course, I'm a Mancunian now because I can't have Arsenal in the Premier League. So our kid Jackie's on the phone. All right, Jack?
Hello, who's that?
it's our kid Madge. I'm now Mancunian because I want you to win the league.
Oh, you sound... I couldn't recognise your voice, Madge. Oh, Madge, I'm absolutely buzzing and I've been really poorly for the last few weeks. I've got to go in hospital for a minor op on Tuesday.
Oh, well, we send you our wishes, babe.
You what, mate?
We send you our wishes.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm just so over the moon today. I actually cried when City won because the last time I saw City win Anfield was 2003 when Anelka scored the winner.
Wow.
In the top end.
You are going back.
23 years, mate, and we've finally done it, and I'm just so happy.
And do you know what, as well? The way that you came back in that second half is the City that we know that can hunt down Premier Leagues, which makes it interesting. You know, Arsenal are deservedly top of the Premier League right now. They are a machine.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they are. To be fair.
What is a scary machine is a Manchester City that can go and do that at Anfield.
Exactly that match. I mean, last week at Spurs, for a few weeks, we've not performed in the second half. We performed first half, and then they just seemed to go to pieces in the second half. But today, you know, we should have scored in the first half. But Szoboszlai's free kick, it was an absolute worldie. Fair play to him. And Liverpool came at us in the second half and we just dug deep and we managed to get the points. But the referee, honestly, he spoiled the game. That should have been a goal and Szoboszlai shouldn't have been sent off, in my opinion. But everybody's got their own opinions. And it did spoil the game and it spoiled the fun with Cherky scoring. And I'm just over the moon, Matt. I don't really know what to say. I'm just
You're having a little waffle, Jack, today. You're usually very composed and very thoughtful in your analysis of a game. And today I can tell you're emotionally involved. You've been...
I am. I mean, like I said, I'd love to have gone, but my health at the moment, I can't go to football away from home at the moment with my health situations. But I'll get through what I've got to get through and I will be back. I'll go to the home games, of course, but the travelling at the moment isn't...
Jackie, will you be back as Premier League champions yet again?
I don't know, Madge. I can't say yes and I can't say no. But we've just got to dig deep and we've just got to go on one of them crazy mad runs. I did never think we'd get anything there today because we really, really do struggle at Anfield. We seem to have a fear factor. But today, like I said, the boys dug in and they played well. And I'm actually watching it with my friend. My friend Tony's a Liverpool fan, but he actually congratulated me when we won. He congratulated me because I was crying. I was literally crying, man.
In fairness, Jack, you know, you've, out of going to Anfield and to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, in both places where you haven't had the best of luck in terms of results in years, you had 4 points out of 6, and it puts you on a nice run of home games against Fulham. Obviously, you've got Salford City, the derby in the cup, and then you host Newcastle, whose away form's not the best at all.
Struggling.
And then you've got a struggling Nottingham Forest after going to Ellen Road. So your fixture list looks quite tempting as a City fan.
Yeah, I was looking at the fixtures and I thought, let's get these two out of the way. 2 bogey grounds, but like I said, we've come away 4 out of 6, and I thought we'd have come on out of 6 with the way we've been playing previously to that. But well done, boys, and fair play to the Liverpool fan who's with me now, our Tony. Say how you think. He's crying, he's only joking, bless him. No, he's a proper Liverpool fan. He doesn't take the mickey.
Jackie,
anyway.
Good luck with your operation, and we'll speak to you.
Yeah, good luck, Jack.
Safe and sound afterwards.
Oh,
Send our love.
Guys. Thank you very much. Take care.
Have a good one,
Bye-bye.
Jack. Right, let's go to Damien. He's a Liverpool fan. He was at the game today. How are you, Damien?
Oh, well, Mark, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. I want to get your thoughts on that sending off at the end now, because, of course, you lose a top player now through suspension.
But people are talking about VAR affecting the game. It isn't VAR. It's the guy that sat in the VAR room, the referee that sat in the VAR room. Those guys are spoiling the game. not the system. The guy should be hauled up. Where you're talking about VAR on the radio now, you should be talking about referee in that VAR room.
It's very true, actually. We sometimes just think it's a computer. It's that there's someone there controlling the VAR, having the decisions passed.
And we've always been critical of the management a bit after we got remember the verbal responses we had from the VAR team to the referee on the pitch situation, where the dialogue was just embarrassing. I can only call it embarrassing.
Yeah.
I like to think it's improved since then, but they definitely got it wrong today. I mean, that was a shambles.
Szoboszlai will miss 3 matches.
Really?
Now.
Is that true? That is such a shame.
Damien, 3 matches without a player of his quality. I'll be so frustrated as a Liverpool fan.
So, given what's happened today, what's the advantage rule now then?
Yeah.
What was that, sorry?
He says, given what happened, what's the advantage rule now? Like, you just play the advantage, didn't you? And the outcome is the goal. You don't need to punish the person because you played the advantage.
Yeah, it sounds like the on-field decision was a goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was the on-field decision. But what he did was when Szoboszlai pulled Haaland back, he played advantage, and then of course he's got into the box and Haaland's pulled him back. So then that advantage has been kind of overplayed in terms of we have to go and look at the VAR. That I have no logic to have throw at this situation, because in my view it should have just been a goal, and that was it.
And creating a void in the Liverpool midfield for nearly 2 weeks. That suspension will be now.
Yeah,
it's very, very frustrating for all involved, I think.
Oh, more so for. I mean, what a frustrating day for Liverpool. They've weathered a storm in the first half. They've hit an absolute storming goal, an absolute brilliant period of play. Actually, got on top of that game, and then they've ended up losing it and losing a player too.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got Patrick in New York here.
Yeah,
he's putting a lot of the blame on Slot as a Liverpool fan. He says, Liverpool supporter here, I think Slot has to take the blame for that disgraceful capitulation. You could see our players were dead on their feet after we took the lead and he refused to use his subs. Why doesn't he trust the likes of Jones, Endo and Robertson to close out games like they've done for us over the last few years? Thank you, Patrick in New York. Would you make those comments, Bob?
It's a view. And as I say, when you get into those situations and I put my manager's hat on, you get into situations and you've taken the lead. Your immediate fault is to shore up. Really, I mean, you're not looking for a second goal. You just don't want to concede. I'm sure that would have been Slot's mindset, but he must have thought the players he had on the pitch would be able to do that.
And sometimes you don't want to change it because it's working.
Correct.
Trying to change things when it's working, you think, maybe not.
And we go back to Amorim. Remember, Amorim used to take centre-halves off at 85 minutes. You didn't bring 2 young centre-halves on. I was like pulling my hair out. What are you doing? So, yeah, there's a couple of arguments against that.
Listen, I mentioned about our stack schedule this week in the Premier League's talkSPORT have all 10 Premier League games live across the network this week, including Liverpool travelling to Sunderland, Arsenal's away game at Brentford, and Manchester City taking on Fulham. Check out our website, talksport.com, for all the details. Download the app to hear every goal. But keep your calls coming into us, 03717 223344, on that huge game at Anfield, which has angered fans up and down the country. VAR, in or out, which are you? Call us right now. We'll hear from you next on talkSPORT.
I think there's times as well, isn't there? You look at the problem at Sheffield Wednesday and how Barry Bannon's gone about it when he's been there and he's come out and spoke when members of staff aren't getting paid and stuff. There's times to come out, isn't there, and speak, but the problems that Spurs are having when they've got so many good players available still, just keep it in-house. Let Thomas Frank deal with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Thomas Frank has obviously been asked about it. He was quite diplomatic in public. In private, would he have been fuming with his captain, you think?
I think so, yeah. I think he would have been fuming.
Does he do fuming?
He does sort of quiet fuming.
Scandinavian fuming.
Yeah, he doesn't shout and bawl, but he will drag you in there and have a word for sure. He's not.
Because you were with him for how long at Brentford?
3 years.
3 years. How many times did he blow his top during that period?
Once or twice in the dressing room, but for sure, there were times he would drag players into the office and let them know. But in his way, he's not a shouter and baller. But in his way, he's more than willing to sort things.
Well, what do you think about him making the step up to being the Tottenham manager? Because it is a step up, isn't it? I mean, although you look at the table and Brentford are 7th and
Thomas Tuchel's busy trying to bring glory back to England for the first time since '66. But how did he get here? Well, from the sleepy town of Krumbach via some giants of European football, here's his journey to Wembley. Sitting around 60 miles west of Munich, Krumbach's population is less than 14,000 people. But Tuchel's friends there remember a boy whose ambitions lay far beyond the Bavarian community. His will to win was evident early. Tuchel often captained his youth football teams, and his school side lifted the national German football trophy in 1987. The sport took the young defender on a whistle-stop tour of South Germany, from Augsburg to Stuttgart and then Ulm. A knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25, though. Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart youth setup in 2000, hired by none other than Ralf Rangnick. Under Tuchel's stewardship, the club's under-19s won their league title in 2005. But Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract, feeling Tuchel had an abrasive personality. He went on to manage Augsburg's second team before spending 5 years at the helm at Mainz. He then followed in Jurgen Klopp's footsteps and moved from Mainz to Dortmund. Here, Tuchel secured his first major silverware, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more major trophies came next for Tuchel in just 5 glorious seasons. He won 2 Ligue 1 titles and a pair of domestic cups as PSG boss. At Chelsea, he famously lifted the Champions League as well as a Super Cup and a Club World Cup, and he also bagged a Bundesliga at Bayern Munich. And then, 4 months after leaving Bayern, Tuchel was unveiled as England's new manager.
I always wanted to come back to England. That was my big goal. I have the best memories of the country, of the league and of the players. The attitude towards the game, the attitudes from the supporters.
Well, here's hoping Tuchel can finally drag England over the line at a major tournament.
Good evening and welcome to the Final Word Final with me, Majestic, and former Crystal Palace, Newcastle and West Ham boss Alan Pardew. And yes, we'll be speaking about those 3 teams very soon. But it's all eyes on Anfield right now as Manchester City came away with all 3 points. But it's VAR that is under the spotlight yet again after a chaotic last-minute Manchester City goal being chalked off, as you heard it in the news just then. If you took the game, we'd love to hear from you right now. 03717 223344. Air your views to the nation right now. It is the Final Word Phone-In with Madge and Pards. Sunday night, talkSPORT. Right, so before we go back into this proper, let's have a bit of context. After the VAR review, the referee overturned the original decision of the goal to Manchester City. The referee's announcement: after review, there is a careless foul by Erling Haaland that pulls the shirt of Dominik Szoboszlai. Prior to that, Szoboszlai commits a holding offence that denies an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. The final decision is a direct free kick to Manchester City and a red card.
Cross the T's, dot the I's.
Yeah. Well, you can't play advantage on a red card.
Let's be honest. Listen, you know, when you talk to officialdom, I'm sure that is correct what they're implying. But in the nature of the game and the beauty of the game, it was just travesty. That's the only word I can use. It should have been a goal, and we should all have been playing with 11 men for the last 2 or 3 minutes. That's what should have happened. But okay, it is what it is.
Absolutely. I do believe we've got a special guest that's joining us right now. If we're going to talk about decisions and referees, we have got the right person to join us, because legendary retired referee DerMOT Gallagher joins us here on the show. How are we, DerMOT?
Hi, Majestic. Hi, Al.
Hi, DerMOT.
Listen, let's just get your thoughts off that straight off the bat. We don't want to ask you no questions. You're the ref. Tell us what you saw.
I have to say, I get what Alan says, and I think lots and lots of people will say, you know, give the goal. It keeps 11 against 11. It keeps everybody happy. But when you look at it, there's no doubt whatsoever Szoboszlai is fouled, and by Haaland fouling him, he will argue that stopped him clearing the ball off the line. But you go back, the only reason Szoboszlai gets that far back is because he actually hauls Haaland back. That's the first foul. So I don't think I think Craig has tried to play advantage because he thinks it'll be a goal.
Definitely, DerMOT. He's played advantage, isn't he?
Yeah, he's played advantage, and bear in mind, Al, that he can always bring that back if it goes wrong. So
but if you go to the second part, right, where Haaland fouls him, right, but the ball's gone in the net. So why didn't he play advantage there as well?
Well, he can't play an advantage for foul on Szoboszlai, can he? Because if the ball's in the net, the game, you know, it's terminated, isn't it? That moves over. But if you actually look, that ball's not in the net when he pulls Szoboszlai back. And the problem there, Al, is that once
don't you think he see that, DerMOT? Don't you think he see the first incident, right? And he's played on. Yeah. He's seen the second incident. He must have seen it. It was fairly obvious. And he still give a goal. That was the on-field decision, wasn't it?
The on-field decision was goal. That's correct. So all I can presume is he hasn't picked up the foul on Szoboszlai.
No, I don't see that. I think what's happened is VAR or the official in the VAR room has picked up the second incident and said to him, "You really need to go and look at that again," because more or less underlining it, saying this is a sending off situation here, or you know, you need to sort of re-look at this whole thing. But I think in real time he's looking at that all unfold. The ball's going towards the net. He's played the advantage the first time. He can't not have seen the second pull. He couldn't have seen. No, I just can't imagine that.
But it's interesting you say that, Al, and when you walk it through, I get what you say. But don't forget, when Craig goes to that screen, he retains all options. He can give a goal. He can give a foul to Szoboszlai. He can give a foul against Szoboszlai and a red card, which he did. He retains all options. When he goes to that screen, he will see that. And if he sees the ball's over the line, it's cut and dried for him, isn't it? Because he can go, right, I've got a great decision here because I can give a goal. And people forget, the goal would have been Cherki's. Cherki scored that goal from inside his own half.
Yeah, he's dribbled all the way.
So he would have been able to give a goal. Man City would have been 3-1 up. Liverpool wouldn't have lost a player.
For 3 games,
For one game, isn't it? Because it was Dogso.
Oh, really? I just read it was 3 games. There's only one, so confirmation.
I think it's one. I thought
it was one. I'd read it was 3. Okay, that's not too bad.
One game because it's a Dogso. But that said, you know, they wouldn't have lost that player for the next game in the midweek. And people say, everybody's happy. But I can't see that Craig would not see that ball's over the line. Because if it's over the line,
I still don't see your point, though, DerMOT, here, if I'm honest. Let's go through it again. Cherki hits the shot, right? It's dribbled. It's going towards the goal. Haaland is definitely going to get there. He's pulled back by Szoboszlai, who the referee's played advantage.
Yes.
Then there's the second pullback by Haaland, right? Now, this is my point. He must have seen it. There's no way he could not have seen that. So the ball is now dribbled in the net, and he must have thought to himself, I'm going to give a goal here. It's a goal, right? I'm just going to ignore that. They played advantage on that situation as well. Then he gets the call in the ear to go to the screen by the VAR. Then he's under massive pressure, isn't he, DerMOT, there? Massive pressure in terms of the decision by being called to VAR Don't you think that? He hasn't really got anywhere to go then, has he?
Well, he has, Al. You know, let's say the red herring really is the second foul, isn't it?
Yes.
Because the first foul is immaterial because we're all happy that ball's still going towards goal. We're all happy that Szoboszlai hasn't stopped.
Yes, that second goal, Derm, is basically Haaland stops Szoboszlai from having the opportunity to clear it off the line.
Absolutely.
So I'm just watching it back now on the highlights.
When you say we're happy with the first part, he's played advantage, but Haaland would have gone and
but if that goal had gone in with no second foul, I think that would have been left and that would have been fine because he goes, I played the advantage, you've got the goal, no problem. It's because it makes sense now. He's denied Szoboszlai the opportunity to defend it because if he defended it, it wouldn't have went in. Then you stop the game and go, hang about, goal scoring opportunity, come from there. I'm bringing it back and it's a free kick, and that's what we've done.
100%, and that's exactly my point, Majestic, that we're all happy, if you think about it, when Haaland's pulled back because the ball's still going in the net.
Yes.
He hasn't denied a goal. He hasn't, if it dribbles in the net, everyone goes, okay, yeah, he's played advantage.
But it wouldn't have gone in the net, would it? Because he would have cleared it off the line if Haaland didn't foul him.
And that's the point. Because then...
and that's my point. That's exactly my point. It wouldn't have gone in net because Haaland has then fouled Szoboszlai. So therefore, because that foul has occurred, you have to penalise. But the only reason that foul occurred is because the first one was by Szoboszlai.
Makes sense.
Which occurred to the red card, which is why you default back to the original.
So yeah, it's like a chain reactions happened. Because 100%. Because we've seen
I get that. I understand the logic of it. I mean, it ain't like rocket science. I understand the logic of it, but my point is the ball did go in the net.
But it wasn't going in the net.
Unless he was fouled.
Yeah. And that's the key.
So therefore, we all go back and get a guy sent off, and the goal gets chalked off, and we have a free kick on the edge.
and
that's my point.
As week in, week out, Al, poor old VAR gets a good kick in.
Yeah, of course. But I think when you look in the context, doesn't VAR does that ever get mentioned, DerMOT, by you guys about the context of the game and the feel of everything? Is that, or is it just purely the rules? That's it, bang. Do you understand my point on that?
I do, but you think back to when I last refereed a team that you were in charge of was West Ham.
Oh dear, that's a long time ago, mate.
Well, it's a long time since I've refed, Alan. Honestly, I'm really showing my age now. I put WD-65 on me after training now. But if I was refereeing a match at West Ham at Upton Park as it was then, and that situation occurs, and your centre back with, say, James Collins, whatever, gets pulled back at that stage and doesn't clear that ball, and I go, oh, well, James pulled that guy first, so therefore one balanced out the other. You would never accept that because you will always say...
So I'd be happy for him to get sent off then.
But you would always want that goal chalked off, wouldn't you? Because you would argue that your player was fouled.
Well, no, because in the context of the game, Liverpool have lost the game or are losing the game 2-1 anyway, right? It's not like 1-1, it's the 2-1 down, plus the fact that now they've lost the game. They've not conceded the third goal. Well, they're quite pleased about that, but they've lost a player, a very, very important player.
They have, but don't forget, a minute before that, less than a minute before that, could have been 2-2. So that's how quickly that game could
Guys, I feel like I'm eavesdropping on a conversation between you two after the game 20 years ago.
Well, would you like a glass of red wine? Where we discuss this?
I think it was a little bit more heated back then, Dom.
I have to tell you, Majestic, this is my best Sunday for years because I'm talking about football with somebody who understands football. Somebody who wants to talk about football. It's just brilliant. It's rolled years off me, honestly, because I'm addicted to football and I love it. So.
You're very welcome on this show at any time, my friend.
And we appreciate you coming on.
We really do.
All right, no problem. You take care, both.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Legendary Premier League ref there himself, DerMOT Gallagher, talking about the controversial last-minute decision at Anfield, which actually has given me as a fan a little bit more context, and actually I understand what he's saying.
Yeah, of course.
But I see what you're saying. The nuances of the game, the feel, the human element of it is what VAR is taking out of the game.
And why I was saying that, because DerMOT, when he refereed, would obviously there wasn't no VAR in those days. You wouldn't get overseen by anyone. He would referee it
with a human element,
with his football brain.
Yeah.
And therefore that goal would have been given and would have carried on.
But again, that's what VAR has changed. And
correct. So we can't, as you say, 19 clubs voted for it. There's nowhere else we can go. We have to accept it. But we can still challenge it.
Yeah.
We can still say, when you look back at that, was that the right decision? Are you going to give that guy a 1-match ban as well? Blah, 3-match ban, whatever it is. So I think if we just went, oh no, that's right, that's absolutely right. What happened there? Spot on.
Well, I'd love to hear from you listeners. What did you make of DerMOT's explanation there? Do you feel you got a little bit more clarity after hearing it from an ex-professional Premier League ref? 03717 223344. Keep those WhatsApp messages coming in and the calls. It's Madge and Pards on a Sunday night. It's talkSPORT.
It's just disrespectful. And how about you look at your own performances? I rate Romero. I do rate him as a defender. 5 goals this season as well. He's chipping in with his goals from centre half. But you haven't had the best of seasons. You cost your side on numerous occasions with poor defending. Just shut up and play football. Leave that to the manager to speak to the board about signings. It's none of your business. Fans will like it.
Captain.
Yeah, fans will like it. Okay, would you see an Arsenal captain come out and speak like that?
But Arsenal not in the same situation.
One of the things Thomas Frank said in that clip we just played is that Romero is ambitious. Can't have been that ambitious.
Well, he's won the World Cup.
He signed a new contract with Tottenham. If you're that ambitious, you don't do that. You back yourself to go and play for a big club. He was part of the team that finished 17th in the Premier League last year. He was described by our own Stuart Pearce as a liability in the previous meeting with Manchester United. He isn't that good a defender. I don't think he's that good a character. And I think he should have been stripped of the captaincy. This is not how a captain of a Premier League football club should be behaving.
Well, he's a Europa League winner and a World Cup
They beat
final
the dog and
winner.
duck in the final.
Well, they didn't bring the dog and duck in the World Cup final, did they? They beat France. But
Well, Sam,
Jimmy Traore won the Champions League. Doesn't make him a legend of football, does it?
saying he's a legend, he's just saying that he's not a bad footballer. You think he's overrated, and I think he's
So
got
does
some
Stuart
great-
Pearce.
I
I'll take
think he's
Stuart
got-
Pearce's view over mine.
I think he's got great qualities. I think he's just a little bit sometimes too eager, and sometimes his ego gets the better of him, and he wants to go and do everything instead of being disciplined.
There's the point that you've made. He's rash on the pitch. He gets too many bookings. He gets too many red cards. He gets caught out of position too often. And he's clearly overly emotional off the pitch. And you use the word ego there. Speaking of people who...
Tonight on the talkSPORT Love Island Villa, Sir Pards comes through to talk to DerMOT. He's pulled him for a chat about the earlier VAR decision. That's coming next on talkSPORT Love Island. Yeah. Well, I don't know what this bed is. That saxophone is taking it back to like the 90s. I've been on a Wheel of Fortune and your special prize, a luxury weekend in Edinburgh.
Bruce Forsyth.
Oh, good old Brucey. They don't make him like they used to on the TV, do they?
Of course they don't.
Although I'll tell you what, my kids.
What was that show where the thing went across the conveyor
Generation
belt?
game, wasn't it?
Generation
Yeah,
game.
to
yeah.
remember
Toaster. Teas mate.
Wooden man.
Teas mate. My mum used to go, I'd have that teas mate. That's definitely, I wouldn't forget that. That would be the one.
I would have done all right, and I've got good memory with things like that.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't. I might struggle.
I'll tell you what I'm glad's back is Gladiators. My kids are loving Gladiators.
Oh, what with? Oh, yeah.
Bradley Walsh and his son.
Bradley Walsh and his son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
done really well.
Them two.
What, father and son? Strange combo.
Doing the show. I love Bradley, but I don't know if it works for me.
You used to like Eureka Johnson and Big Fash.
Yeah. I used to prefer that show.
Oh,
Obviously,
Wogga!
the old Gladiators had a little bit more character. Maybe it was my age.
03717 22 Let's get straight into it. Anthony, a Liverpool fan, joins us. He was at the game. How are you, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm really good, lads. How are you?
Yeah, not bad at all. What's your thoughts and feelings on the whole VAR situation? Do you hear DerMOT there?
Yeah, I mean, I still don't get it. I mean, look, I want to say I actually don't mind VAR. You know, you get some, you lose some sort of thing. But I've never seen a decision like that at all, and I can't remember a decision like that at all. You know, he played, the referee played advantage, and the ultimate advantage that arisen from that situation was a goal.
Correct.
Like, why has he taken it back? You know, on the basis of the referee played advantage, I just don't get. I just don't get it. If Haaland had not scored, if that goal hadn't gone in, then by all means bring it back. But the point is, he scored. He scored from the advantage that was given. And I hate this phrase because I believe, you know, a decision is a decision. But the spirit of the game and all of that just completely went out the window there. But the decision is entirely illogical. You know, in what decision can you think of in the past where advantage has been given and then when that advantage has been fully capitalised upon, it's like, no, we need to go back. I seriously don't.
Well, I'm definitely on the same view as you there. Is he still with us?
I think we might have lost him, but we've got
a shame.
Fan, yeah.
I'm ashamed because I wanted to ask him about did he actually feel in the stadium that they were going to lose that game? I mean, I didn't sense that they were going to lose it at all, Madge, until that equaliser went in, and then suddenly it was.
They definitely had the ascendancy, didn't they, Liverpool?
Yeah.
Let's go back over to a Liverpool fan. We got Nasser joins us. How are we, mate?
I am good.
You was at the Anfield today as well, right?
Yeah, I was there. But I thought we were going to win right until they scored their second goal, not their first goal. So up until they scored their second goal, I thought we were going to win.
Yeah.
Even when down the second, I thought we were going to equalise. Because it looked like we were going to equalise. But a step or two. Like they've never been playing at right back anyway. He had Endo on the bench, and I don't know why Klopp played Like yet again as a right back, and that put us in trouble. It means we lost Like as an attacking midfielder. And then in the second half, all his substitutions came a bit too late. Why would you take Cody Gakpo and replace Matthias Jones? And why would you take Kirkes off to be replaced by Chiesa? If anybody substituting, it was Salah. You know, and it's got a sort of like a reluctance to play Rio, and I just don't get it. So a lot of today, I think we could have won that match had he made the right substitution at the right time.
So you think Slot was to blame, really, for the defeat? Yeah.
It's another Liverpool fan that feels the same. Do you feel he's not using his substitutes enough, Nas?
No, well, he's not in the right way. He's got Soberfly. He's the best attacking midfielder that we've had all season.
But that trio, that trio of McAllister, Garenberg, and him last year was outstanding, wasn't it? It was nothing better than that.
Yeah, so why would he put him at right back when he's got Endo on the bench? I just don't get that.
No, and I have to say, the first goal, if you're a natural right back, I don't think he would have kept him on side, but Silva. I think a normal right back would have been higher there. So I do think there's some. I mean, I think he's an outstanding footballer, and he played brilliant today, even at right back. But I do get your point.
Great call. Thank you very much, Nash. Let's go over to Tony, who's a Liverpool fan. He wants to talk about the inconsistency of VAR, because there was no look at the Salah incident, was there, Tone? Oh, he just dropped off. We're going to get him back in a moment's time. Because I'll talk about that quickly, because obviously there was that little pullback from Gay on Salah.
Yeah, Gay got caught the wrong side of Salah. He's never going to get to him. So he tugs at his shirt. And it's just outside the box. But the only question mark about whether that would have been a sending on situation was whether the pass was a bit heavy, and it brought into the goalie come into the picture, or a recovering defender. So, but it was tight. I mean, it's tight. When you look at the incident, you go, wow, it was could have been a big turning point in the game.
Yeah, interesting because a lot of people feel like there's not the consistency of VAR. It's like, okay, you want to stick to the rules for one thing, but that thing can go over there. So I think that's what people might have an issue with. We've got so many messages coming in as well. The decision today made total sense. Can't just ignore fouls just because it's advantage. If he's headbutted the Liverpool player, would you say it was fine because he was fouled first?
Well, he didn't. No, he didn't headbutt him. It's a different thing.
In rugby, a knock-on gets you an advantage. You can't then knock it on yourself in order to get a try. Same principle. That's from Andrew in London. Why not penalise the first foul? Say he had played advantage to City, but then not gain an advantage. If VAR believed the defender would have got there. That's from Spurs fan, fellow sufferer. And Dan's just asked a very interesting question. Did Pep Guardiola say goodbye to Anfield for the final time this afternoon? Might be the last time he plays at Anfield. We're going to talk about that and Pep Guardiola's future with you, Pals. Get your thoughts on that. The number to call us, of course, is 03717 22 3344. We're going to be speaking about the other games from the weekend as well. But, of course, the attention turns to the title race. As tonight it stands, 6 points between Manchester City and Arsenal, with Manchester City playing first on Wednesday against Fulham. Of course, we got a full schedule here on talkSPORT this week.
And may I make another point?
Go for it, Pods.
What about this? Amorim, who started the season as United manager, right, after 25 games, are above Slot's team by 5 points. I mean, that is astonishing, isn't it?
Wow.
Manchester United are 5 points clear of Liverpool tonight.
Manchester United are back.
We know Amorim's gone, but I'm making the point of, when we was 15 games in, would we have said that?
No way.
In a million years. So
Michael Carrick tonight is at home with slippers on, maybe a cigar.
Oh, Michael.
A bit of something on ice.
Yeah, no, I think Michael is because obviously I've managed him, I know him. I don't think he'd have watched that game. He wouldn't have got emotional about that game. He'd have looked back and thought, not bad.
Do you reckon
he's very level-headed?
Do you reckon he's excited for the Super Bowl later, though?
I'm not sure.
Well, we are. 03717 22 3344.
I don't really gets that excited, Michael. It's hence why he's a great player. He was always calm.
Calm.
And
we need calm. After that chaotic finish at Anfield, it is Majestic and Alan Pardew. It's Sunday night here on talkSPORT.
You don't mean that, man.
Okay, stop
man,
shouting,
let me get the out of here, bro. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Talking about my peoples and all that. It's hard to believe a black man than a white man. The cheated. Tell him to sue me so I can show the facts early. Because when the documentary and everything, the story come out, I'm going to show everything.
Fantastic.
I'm going to get all the people that know and all the people that's in the inside. He got people that in the inside of him. They're going to know. I don't, what? I don't about that.
I'm not a Fury
I don't about it. I said we didn't want to bring him up in the first place. It ain't got to do with him.
Fair enough.
The you talking about?
And with that, he was out of there. How on earth do you reflect on that? What was he going on about?
Well, look, I mean, at the time, I was a little bit embarrassed because I thought the show's coming off the rails and it was a big show and Deontay Wilder's a big name, so I'm sitting there thinking I'm a bit embarrassed by it. Then I thought, he's a bit of a tit. And then I thought, is he on drugs or something, or is this theatrics? And then I just came around to the conclusion that he's not right. He's not well. And all this ayahuasca stuff it's probably worked in reverse. I thought it was supposed to make you calm and zen-like. Listen, I didn't provoke Deontay Wilder by asking him a question that he didn't want to answer. I asked him a question about something he'd said, not something I was trying to engineer into clickbait. He called Tyson Fury a cheat. He's sitting in England. Tyson Fury, in some people's minds, is a legend in boxing. And so you're sitting in England. I thought, not unreasonable. Someone else asked him the question, and he didn't like it. And he can't answer it. So he gets
all agitated and upset about it. He turns it into a debate about oppression. I mean, there's loads more that you didn't see. You know, he threatened to punch me in the face and talked about lynching and God knows whatever else. And I understand that he's got things in his life that have challenged him. But later on in the afternoon, you saw him. He went off to do some other stuff, and he was much more relaxed about it. But that looks to me like a man that's struggling with things, because there was no reason for that reaction. There was no provocation. There was no incitement. It wasn't a case of you were told not to ask that question, so don't ask it. No, I wasn't told not to ask that question. It was on the schedule by the producer. It was a reasonable question to ask, and so we asked it.
Here's the final one phoning here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, alongside experienced Premier League manager Alan Pardew. Sunday evening, what a weekend of football we've had, with the pinnacle being at Anfield as Manchester City put the title race back on as they beat Liverpool in a stunning 2-1 victory. It was a bit of a snatch and grab, really, but it was the excitement of the Premier League. We saw we saw an amazing free kick from Szoboszlai. We saw some incredible saves from Donnarumma. We saw last-minute drama. In a season that's been so strange, I think today we saw some of the best of the Premier League.
Yeah, and also, you know, the first half was some real cultured, brilliant play from Manchester City as well in there. And they had some great moments which they didn't capitalise on and should have scored with the momentum they had. And then Liverpool's second half come out, pressed a little bit higher or a little bit quicker, a little bit sharper to the ball. Suddenly the momentum with them, and as you say, an absolutely brilliant goal. If you haven't seen it, you're going to love it. It was an absolutely outstanding goal. And then the finish, which you just can't sum up in a couple of sentences.
Yeah,
it was just crazy.
Yeah, absolutely,
but brilliantly crazy.
And of course, we've got a stacked schedule of Premier League action this week on the talkSPORT network, starting on Tuesday. Tottenham host your former club Newcastle at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'm going to be there. Oh, wow. We need a win. We do.
And Newcastle need a win, by the way. It's a big game for both football clubs.
Huge.
Two big clubs, you know, languishing in positions they shouldn't really be in. So there's a lot of pressure on the managers that night. Real lot of pressure.
Before we talk about the other clubs, let's wrap up the whole Manchester City and Liverpool game today. Let's go over to Adam as a Liverpool fan. He joins us. How are we, Adam?
Adam.
Hello.
How are we, Ad?
Yeah, not bad, yourselves?
Yeah, very well. Listen, I know you didn't get the result you wanted by the end, but it was a very entertaining game. What did you make of the refereeing decisions today? Because I know some Liverpool fans are a bit upset with the Gay one.
I mean, my thinking of this rule, like the one at the end, denial of a goal scoring opportunity. If Gay doesn't pull Salah in that situation, Salah gets to that ball, and he either squares it to Efetife, and Diaz is there, but he squares it to Efetife, or he has a shot. Is that not a goal scoring opportunity?
Yeah, listen, when it happened, I was thinking, oh, he's in danger here. there was
I was streaming for it.
Yeah, there was a lot of players in the vicinity, but they weren't goal side, were they? They were all kind of in front of Gahey, so it was like it was close call. I really think that was a 60-40.
The other thing is as well, the rule on fouls near the edge of the box is if it starts on the outside of the box and carries on into the box, it's a penalty. Gahey still had hold of him when he was in the box. So not only did he get it wrong on the red card, he also got it wrong on the free kick.
Well, I think that when the foul starts outside, that's where he should give it. That's the rule, isn't it?
No, the actual rule is if it starts outside and carries on inside, it's a penalty. If he's got hold of his shirt on the outside of the box and they both run into the box, it's a penalty.
Yeah, well, I listen. I hear your pain because it was definitely a 50-50 one. There's no doubt about that. In terms of him getting sent off, I don't know about the penalty, but getting sent off was really close. Yeah. And as you say, the incident at the other end kind of highlighted it, didn't it? When we've had the sending off. So
the main reason I was phoning up for though is I think Slot's got a lot to blame on that game today. I mean, he dropped Salah earlier on in the season, and Salah spat his dummy out, and he brought him back in, and since he's come back in, he's been exactly the same as he was before he played it. He's a passenger in the game. He has like the odd little bit here or there, but he's not affecting the game properly. And the Gakpo's on the other side. Gakpo takes about 15 touches when he just needs to take a touch out of his feet. Loads of times in that game, he had Kirkers going past him or Bert going past him, and all he needs to do is take a touch and pass it, and he doesn't do it, and you're carrying two passengers either side of Ekitike. If it weren't for the way Bert and Ekitike have been the last few games, we'd be playing like Tottenham. We'd be in the bottom half of the table.
Yeah, I mean, Salah is a strange one, isn't he? Because he had a great moment, didn't he, with his outside of the foot when he puts the cross in. Yeah. And I think Ekitike should score. And, he still had great moments in the game. I was a little bit disappointed in Wirtz today, personally. It was a big stage. He's in a bit of form. I was expecting to see, okay, you've scored a few goals. Let's see you at your best today. And I thought he was quiet today.
Yeah. 03717 223344. Let's go over to a Manchester City fan. He was at Anfield today. James joins us. How are we, James?
Hiya, you okay?
You was at Anfield, yeah?
Yeah, at Anfield today.
What were the limbs like, mate? What were the limbs like when that third one went in?
Oh, God, unbelievable! But I'm just so glad that if it were 1-1 and that VAR at the end, all the City players running over to the fans and we're all going absolutely mad. I just think there would have been uproar because if it were 1-1, 2-1, it's not really as much of a talking point. But if it were 1-1 and obviously he pulls him back, you've got to give the goal for me. You've got to. I just think the game's gone.
Well, this is the human element of VAR we've been talking about, Pards, haven't we?
Yeah, and I actually hear that because as you say, the context of the game, the decision was slightly easier, wasn't it? When he went to that VAR, if it was 1-1. Would he have made the same decision?
Yeah,
that's the call, and I take your point on that. Absolutely, James.
Yeah, if it were 1-1, I just think it would have been. But like you say, they're going on about the Gahey challenge and all that. But VAR, you look at Dallo and Doku in the Manchester derby and stuff like that. It's just it's a maybe. But I'm just so glad because I just think it would have. I just don't agree with it because, like you say, he pulls him back first, and then all the play. I thought VAR. You've sort of got to give it to the attacker.
Yeah, I mean, it was a decision that I'm sure VAR, in all honesty, didn't want to get involved with really because it's only going to cause them more problems, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And more questions, and we're going to start talking about the love of the game and the beauty of the game and the context of the game, etc., etc., etc.
James, I've got a question for you as a Man City fan. Come the 1st of August, do you think Pep Guardiola is still going to be your gaffer?
I thought he would have walked after the treble, to be honest. I hope he does. I don't know who I bring in. I bring in Alonso, but I think he's going to go to Liverpool, to be honest.
Maresca?
But he's been there for 10 years. He's never stayed anywhere more than 3 or 4 years. So let's hope he does, but who knows?
Yeah.
What about Maresca? Would you have Maresca?
No, I wouldn't have Maresca. No, I don't know. I didn't really rate him at Chelsea.
Difficult job though, that Chelsea job, when you've got all of that noise above you.
Yeah, I know that, but I just don't think. Well, he were at City, wasn't he? So he knows the club, etc. So they might go down that route, and it might work. I don't think I'd love company, but obviously he's doing well at Bayern. I don't think we're going to get him.
When you look at the City group and all the teams that you have, you like to think that they've got someone underneath maybe that they feel might be able to step up. I mean, I think it's a strange one about Pep because there's a lot of noise. There seems to be a lot of noise around it that he might go. I still think he'll be there personally, but we'll see.
Thank you very much to James, the Manchester City fan there. Right, 03717 223344. Coming up, we're going to hear from Arne Slot and Mark Gay next on The Final Word on talkSPORT.
Let's go to Joe, who's a Liverpool fan. All right, Joe?
All right, Joe, boy.
You all right, lads? All right,
mate. All right, Joey, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I've gone for a left winger, and I've gone for this player because if it's not your night, he'll pick your pockets again and again and again, and it's the pub fruit machine.
Oh, the old fruit.
Mate, the back line, we've got a doorman, we've got carpet and a fruit machine. Mate, this is the stiffest.
He wants him as a left winger.
Oh, you said left wing? I thought you said left back.
Fruit machine, left wing.
Oh, he's not getting past anyone.
What, the fruit machine?
I mean, modern day wingers, you know, they're quite tall, lanky. I mean, look at Cody Gakpo, for example.
Yeah, but I wouldn't describe Cody Gakpo as a fruit machine.
I mean, you pick your pocket.
You wouldn't, would you?
Oh, the slot machine.
Yeah, oh, the old slot. Oh, see, you might change. Yeah,
The fruit machine, though.
No, listen, I'm having him. I'm not sure he's a left winger, mate.
Well, yeah.
It don't strike me. If I said to you, are you playing that wide left? And I said the fruit machine, you go, who's he getting past?
So where are we thinking for the fruit machine? Because I like it. I feel like the fruit machine needs to be in there because he's a staple part of a pub.
You stick him in front of the back four.
You want to play him CDM? Why? Because
he's always picking pockets.
Picking pocket.
There's a little bit of that going on.
So we got a fruit machine in the sea.
He's like Yaya Toure, isn't he? It's Yaya Toure because he's not a Kante.
Casado? He's a bit of a Casado.
Oh, Yaya's like a big old unit, right?
Mascherano, the fruit machine, picture pockets.
Whoever, mate, right? But he's not a left winger. The fruit machine's not left wing. I think here's what we need. Right. We need a little bit of. We need a little bit of movement.
We need a bit of.
So we've got right back the coaster.
We've got the coaster at right back.
The Final Word phone in here on talkSPORT. Me, Majestic, alongside former Premier League manager Alan Pardew. Still to come, we are going to be talking about the rest of the weekend's action, but let's wrap up the Liverpool-Manchester City game that we saw at Anfield. They finished 2-1 to Manchester City, meaning they're only 6 points behind Arsenal in that title race that's heating up with 13 games to go. With Arsenal and Manchester City still to play each other. Oh, it's heating up, Pards. It's heating up.
Yeah.
Before we get back to your calls, talkSPORT's Alex Crook caught up with Liverpool boss Arne Slot, who gave his thoughts on the decision to not send off Mark Gahey a 0-0.
It was a big decision, and
as I said, there are many decisions that have to be made in a game of football, and sometimes there are 50-50 or 70-30 decisions. I think, but maybe I'm completely wrong, if 100 people have to judge this situation, I think 95 will tell it's a red card, and 5 people that work at the BGML or inside the panel would probably look at it to help the referee and say, no, this you could also not give it, and it's not necessary for the VAR to intervene. If the referee gives a red card, the VAR would never, ever overturn it. And I even think that the VAR should have overturned this one. But yeah, then I'm not even biased. It's just my opinion, because I say the same about the 3-1 incident. And the penalty, which is, you can talk about it. Yeah, the ball is already out of play, but there is a contact moment. And so I don't want to talk about these moments. The crucial moment for me is the one we just spoke about.
That was the Liverpool boss, Arne Slot, talking about the decision not to send off Mark Gahey at 0-0. Would have been a completely different game, Pards.
Yeah, I didn't get his percentages. 95% would say it was a definite sending off. I don't see that. I see it more 50-50. But, he wasn't being biased, of course, being a Liverpool manager. But anyway, I mean, we all know in the game of football, you get decisions that go for you. You get margins in the game. Sometimes you get a goal when you don't deserve it, etc., etc. It's like Fulham Everton yesterday. We went to that game, and Fulham first half the game could have been buried. A bit like our Man City could have been 2-0 up at half time today. So it's always swings and roundabouts. But the last moment of that game was a real kind of
season defining.
Yeah, and a kick in the teeth for the game. That's what it was. It was a kick in the teeth for the game, for the football game. Does that make sense?
For the joy.
Yeah, for the love of the game and everything that we go to a football stadium for. And actually, watch at home in the same manner. We're all mystified by it. Anyway, it is.
Well, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go get a Liverpool voice. Anthony joins us. How are we, Anthony?
Morning, mate. How are you guys doing?
You've heard Slot there. He's obviously a bit annoyed with the Gahey situation. A lot of Liverpool fans tonight have put that defeat in Slot's hands. Where do you stand on that?
So I heard Pardew saying he thought that we were in the ascendancy, and this isn't with the benefits of hindsight. After about 60 minutes, I was like, we've got no energy on the bench. They've got Foden and they've got Cherky. I was like, we haven't got the strength if the legs get tired, and you could see that we were knackered. Ekitike was off the boil. Salah was anonymous all game, aside from that incident, and we just didn't have the bench to do that. Now, he could have brought on Enzo, he could have brought on those players, maybe, but the reality is, what the problem that Liverpool have had is that we have not been able to see out games, and the reality is we needed to be more attacking, but we didn't have the quality on the bench. You possibly could have threw on Ingemauer, but that just feels, a little bit through the kitchen sink at it, if I'm being honest with you. I think this was always the danger. If we got to 70, 80 minutes and it was just a single goal in it. I'm not surprised City won. I mean, I know that's a little bit defeatist, but I'm not surprised that the game went the way it did, because we just simply didn't have enough on the bench to rest players that were tiring. Ekitike was knackered, Wirtz was knackered, and I'm not necessarily sure Gakpo and Salah were offering much either. So I don't think it's a surprise that we lost, if I'm being honest with you, although I thought we did play good in parts.
Funny enough, everything you're talking about there, you could label at Manchester City. That's the first time they've got 2 goals in the second half of a game all since the calendar year started. They've been really struggling and looked a bit leggy towards the end of games. Whether that's the context of the calendar that you guys are both playing, let's be honest, you've got a game every 3 days. It is daunting. But I do agree with you, Manchester City's bench, particularly offensively, there was more armoury on it, wasn't there? There was more options. And when you won the league last year, they used to take the front 3 off, didn't they, Madge, at Liverpool, and put, different
that's why for me,
same level.
Getting rid of Diaz was such a bad move from Liverpool.
Yeah,
I think Diaz.
Isaac's injury is obviously.
Yeah, of course, but just not having Diaz, who already knew the Premier League, and the amount of goals that we saw. I think was it against Luton where he crept up and headed the ball in a couple of seasons ago to win them the game. I think that's during the time he's going through a real deep personal situation. I think he's been a huge miss for them, and you see how well he's doing in the Bundesliga. Let's now hear from a Manchester City boss, Pep Guardiola, who, despite the victory, was unhappy with the way the ref handled the end of the game. This should be interesting.
It's common sense, no? Sometimes we want to complicate the things or pretend we are special. So come on, 3-1, go home, everybody happy, and especially City. I'm happy that Bosolai can play the next game, and after they lost, Bosolai cannot play. It's better than tell it had to be false every single action in the corners and the free kicks. Every corner in the free kick now in the Premier League had to be fault. If Bosolai make a fault. So, but anyway, it's what it is, and happy for the victory, and come back home, and Wednesday another one.
Do you know what? Pep's absolutely bang on. It's just like, let's use a bit of common sense here. 3-1, everyone goes home. Szoboszlai's not sent off. We get 3-1. It's done. We've had a great day out. But this is where we're in this position that people are not using common sense across the world in all sorts of areas of life and jobs.
You know what it is? Over-officialism. That's what it is.
Yes.
And it's one of the reasons you can't drive in London. It's the same reason.
We are creeping into authoritarianism.
Let's get political. A little bit of politics there, a bit of Ben Olden.
We'll say that for Talk TV, but yeah, 100%. I had this the other week with someone. I can't remember who it was, and I was just like, "Bro, use your common sense." I think it was something to do maybe I was at Spurs and they couldn't serve the food for another 2 minutes or something. It's not the end. It's not the end yet. Everyone's going.
Okay, well, let's go back to the game, right? Because Pep has got an interesting point. He's saying every free kick, every corner is analysed to the minute detail, and he's absolutely right. And, you know, one decision could go for you 1 week, and we've seen it with Wolves, and that's why they didn't want the VAR last year. Notts Forest, who have complained to the Referees Association on many occasions about decisions that have gone against them, because they see the decision go against them when they've had that decision not given to them when it happened to them, because the officialdom is so over scrutinised. We need to loosen up a little bit and let the game kind of have some love.
Overzealous.
Overzealous would be a word I would use.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just, but can you write that into rules? Because that's the irony of it.
Yeah, but they're looking to do even more, aren't they now? Because
Yeah.
they're talking about, you know, increasing VAR's kind of scope, which is a real concern to me. I mean, please don't make it any bigger than it is. So, you know, as you say, you know, and as Pep is, it's so frustrating. The end of that game just summed up for me all the things that are wrong with VAR. That's how I stand on it.
Let's go to Mackenzie. He's a Manchester City fan. How are we, Mackenzie?
Hi, gentlemen. How are we?
Very good.
Mate, 6 points behind Arsenal. Is the Premier League title race back on?
Listen, it's back on. You can never write off the Blues.
Exactly.
What a day to be alive. What an away end. Unbelievable.
Mate, I tell you, listen, you host Fulham on Wednesday, which of course you can hear on talkSPORT. We've got the whole of the Premier League action this week. If you win, you are 3 points behind Arsenal, and they've got to go to Brentford, which is not an easy place to go right now. Brentford are flying. You know, how important is the fact that you're playing before Arsenal this week?
Yeah, I mean it's tactical. It's tactical warfare, isn't it? With the mind and who plays first and who doesn't. But listen, I mean we've had times this year where we haven't capitalised on Arsenal dropping points, but I feel that is a real turning point. And I heard you talking about the refereeing before. I cannot understand some of the decisions today, but I think Pep and Slot put it pretty well actually. It swings in roundabouts.
Yep.
And, you know, the Gay, should he have been sent off? Personally, probably. I don't think our penalty is probably a penalty, but listen, I'm 23 years old. We've never won at Anfield in my life. I've been in the game with my old man and my best mate here in the car.
What is your best mate's name? Who's that?
Alistair, he's here.
Alistair.
Hello, mate.
Nice. Yeah, no, what a great victory. And, you know, when you're a football manager, you know, and you go in the dressing room, you've got so much to lean on. Like, you know, the way you've come back, you're 1-0 down, the game looks like it's going away, you dug in, and then you went and got a third goal. You know, it's like the resolve and the momentum that's given the dressing room will be immense. As you're feeling as you are going home in the car, you're just elated, aren't you?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, my old man's 50. How old are you, Dad?
57, nearly 58.
57, 58.
Nah,
We've been to
spring
Anfield
chicken.
many times. Never seen us win at Anfield. I don't know what's happened with that third goal, gents. I have no idea what's happened. I mean, we were all still buzzing from the second, but. What a day to be alive, and hopefully we'll push Arsenal to the very last game.
Well, I think the whole of the Premier League are relying on you Mackenzie, apart from Arsenal fans.
I want Arsenal to win.
You want Arsenal to win?
I want Arsenal. I told you I wanted to come back to London. The title. I want the Premier League to come back to London.
We're going to do a series of things that only Pards wants. A strong Manchester United for the Premier League, the goodness of the Premier League. And the rest of the league wanting Arsenal to win the league.
But I don't mind if Chelsea win it or Brentford win it. I'm quite happy.
Listen, Arsenal, the juggernaut that are. Wow, what a win yesterday against Sunderland. I watched that game. They were just dominant. Gyökeres comes on as well, gets some goals. It's what they need at the right time. You know, nobody's talking about their impressive result against Sunderland, which we will do. I think we can squeeze in another caller quickly. Let's go to Tim. He's a Liverpool fan. How are we, Tim?
It's been sent. Thanks for your message.
Oh.
Thanks for your message, Tim. We've got his voicemail.
I'm glad there's nothing on it.
We've been pied by Tim.
Ghosted.
Ghosted. Pards using the lingo.
Terminology.
The terminology. 03717 2233 before it's the final word here on talkSPORT.
Arnie was talking about style of play rather than trophies. It's great to win trophies looking good, but I don't think Liverpool fans will put up with not winning any trophies, or it'll be hard for them. You've got to win something.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And you know, with the money that they've spent as well, I mean, you've always got that thing, which is you've got to win something. You rightly say. I think that with them is that, you know, good result against Newcastle. Yeah, take it all day long. But as I say, we're still looking at, you know, what's it going to be at the weekend. Whereas, as we know with last year, it was like win, win, win all the time. And the thing about it as well, they've had lots of injuries, Liverpool. But listen, you know, it happens to everybody, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mark, where do you sit with Arne Slot? Obviously, doing really well in the Champions League. Looking to have maybe picked up a bit of form again. Where do you sit on it all?
He's one of those who's I think you know when you see his press conferences and you look at him, I think he talks a bit too much, which probably sounds ridiculous, but it's one. If you have to consider with the previous manager, who was obviously absolutely brilliant, and it's difficult in times to kind of follow him. But we won the league last year, and it's always difficult the next year to win the league again. And he's had that, but he's had lots of injuries. I just feel if you ask the majority of Liverpool supporters, they'll tell you that when he changes it, it doesn't exactly make it any better at the moment. So. And people have said, "Oh, he's not this and he's not this, and you know, we might have to sack him and all that." I think that's rubbish. I don't think he's in that position.
Ever fancied having a beer in the stands while watching your team at the Emirates? Well, this season you actually can, and not just there. You can do it at Anfield, Goodison Park, Stamford Bridge and Old Trafford too. But hold on, I hear you cry. Isn't drinking alcohol in the stands at Premier League games illegal? You're right, for the men's game it still is, but the Women's Super League is doing something different, and here's how we got there. Back in the 1980s, football had a serious image problem. The sport was plagued by violence, pitch invasions and beer-fuelled chaos. From fan riots at the 1980 Scottish Cup final to the Heysel disaster years later, things were unsafe and the consequences were disastrous. Then in 1985, Margaret Thatcher's government stepped in. They introduced the Sporting Events Control of Alcohol Act, banning alcohol in view of the pitch across England and Wales. Since then, many fans and clubs have called for the law to be relaxed, especially since other sports don't face the same restrictions. If you're popping down to watch the Red Roses roar at Twickenham, feel free to grab a pint on the way to your seat. Wandering down to Lord's to catch some boundary bashing? Fill your boots with G&Ts. But if you were hoping to cheers your club's promotion to the Premier League with a Prosecco in hand from pitchside, sorry, it'll have to be tea or Bovril. In 2021, it looked like things might finally change. The government commissioned the Crouch Report, a fan-led review into football governance. One recommendation was to allow League Two and National League clubs to lift the alcohol ban to boost matchday revenue. But nothing came of it. Authorities still weren't convinced that fans could be trusted. And then in January 2025, something did change. The Women's Championship, now called the WSL2, launched a trial allowing fans to drink in the stands. The reasoning? Well, fans at women's matches tend to behave differently. Less aggression, more family-friendly vibes. Now, the women's game is raising the bar, literally. Select WSL and WSL2 stadiums are allowing fans to drink alcohol in view of the pitch. It's been a landmark move showing growing trust in fans and recognising that women's football is building its own culture. So could the men's game be the next to leave the 1980s behind? Well, maybe, if fans can prove they can handle a pint without pitching it at someone. Yeah, don't hold your breath. Until then, it's Bovril all around. Cheers to that.
Good evening and welcome to the final word. I'm still getting over that chaotic end to Anfield. We have digested it very well here on the final word. That's what we do. With me, Majestic, and former Newcastle gaffer and ex-Spurs player with no legacy number, Alan Pardew. We'll be talking about the Geordies and Spurs very soon. And right now, we're the only place on national radio talking about this kind of stuff. You give us a call at 03717 223344. I'd like to be factual on that bit. But now it's time for that quiz. That's more exciting than Fulham's fantastic hospitality and meeting the legendary actor and songwriter Keith Allen, which some of the final word team did yesterday. Not me, because my son's football means the world to me and I had to miss it. So yeah, I did a good thing. It's the Mystery Footballer Quiz. It's simple to play. All you need to do is tell us what famous footballer is linked to these three songs. Remember, it can be the clubs he's played for, a nickname, or even the country he's represented. So DJ Kitch, drop the bomb. So, we had a Jimmy Nail there at the start, ain't no doubt, I remember that. Jimmy Nail when he became a pop star.
The big Geordie.
In Auf Wiedersehen, Pet, wasn't he?
Yeah. Big lad too. He used to come to the games. Big fella.
Fat Les Vindaloo. Bit of a double clue there. And yes, sir, I Can Boogie. Which is a clue to his famous nickname. If you think you know the answer to the Mystery Footballer Quiz with those clues, text us on 81089 or WhatsApp for free.
Why is Vindaloo such a good song? You're already a musician in this the Grammy nominated musician.
Yeah, we didn't win.
No, I was going to come on to the Grammy.
We didn't win.
Because there were some lovely outfits. I was looking at this. I was waiting for you to come on. Like a nice black number, a bit of fur, and an earring and a hat or something.
Like standing next to Billie Eilish, going like,
yeah.
Fight the world.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. I was in New York. 03717.
Did we come runner-up? Close second.
No, I don't think there was runners-up.
No,
I just didn't win. When you win, you walk away.
Okay.
You didn't get the win. But you can still take the nomination. I go, well, Grammy nominated.
Grammy nominated. Anyway, why is Vindaloo? It's funny. It's a funny song. Why? What makes it good? Well,
the irony of the title being Vindaloo in an English football song is just, the irony that, one of our favourite dishes is
our most popular dish, probably.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's the melody.
Okay.
If you can chant something when you're drunk, it means you're onto a hit.
And you remember it.
Yes. So you think of all the songs that are in, like, You know, even with the
What is
darts.
classed as a melody? I'm talking trying as a layman here.
Okay, so you know the darts, when the darts is on, they always play the song Chase the Sun, and it goes... That's
a melody.
That's a melody.
Okay.
For example, the baseline melody of Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
It's a baseline melody.
Okay.
So if your melody is catchy, people will sing it.
What about the bridge? That's another thing, isn't it?
The bridge is another
You're
thing.
surprised I knew that.
I knew you knew that.
Yeah, I knew that.
What about Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers? We're going to have a whole section of this another time on Imagine Part, talk all things musical. But right now it's time to look at the wrong end of the table with only 9 points separating 18th and 13th
this is where it gets
in
exciting.
the Premier League. Today it finished Brighton 0, Crystal Palace.
Yes, come on, the Eagles.
Palace end a run of 12 games without a win in all competitions. Now, Brighton with only one win in 12 Premier League games, with their gaffer being booed off with singing, "You don't know what you're doing." I thought it was going all so well for Brighton.
No, actually, all this year there's been disgruntlement down there a little bit at the manager, substitutions, choices. I was at the Fulham game where they should have won, and he made some substitutions there which didn't pay off, and I think the fans that went to that game would have thrown those accusations at him. And then, of course, again today he's been beaten by his biggest rival, the M23 derby, of course, and the Eagles have come out on top. And the Eagles, their fans are getting very, very nervous themselves. They haven't won all year, this calendar year anyway. And they can hear it from me first. Now they're safe.
You reckon?
Yeah. 32 points, 2 wins, you're done. So I don't see anyone above Palace going down, but I do see some teams below them, including Brighton, and a team with a cockerel, and Leeds, Nottingham Forest, and West Ham fighting. Poor old Burnley, they're gone. I can't see them coming
I've told you before, and I'll tell you again, I'm now a Bromley fan.
Well,
yeah, I'm top of the league in my league. We got a last-minute winner.
Unbelievable.
Up the Bromley.
Go on the Bromley.
Go on the Bromley. Sitting top of
League Two.
League Two. 8
points away from the other promotion rivals. Forget about winning the league. In that division, just got to get out of it.
Yeah.
And that's for it's great if you're the champions. It's nice, but cherry on the top, really. You just, most importantly for the club,
come on the Bromley.
Get out of the division. They've got a great chance.
But yeah, obviously the team that I do support through thick or thin, and they have my heart. Even though I got an email this week.
Go on.
Good news. We've looked at your season ticket membership and we're going to be freezing some prizes.
Oh, very well done.
It's only going to cost you this much.
What do they guarantee? 3-4 victories a year, calendar year?
I said I'm going to pay per victory. I said it in the email. Spurs, are we in a relegation battle? Now, everyone around me is jumping up and down, getting worried. My dad's messaging me. We're right in it.
Yeah.
My friend's dad, Stevie King, we're right in it. Even my mate Gaza, who I do the Spurs podcast with, we're in it. It doesn't help when your captain's getting a red card against a dominant Manchester United at Old Trafford, 29 minutes into the game. Pars, talk me about it. He's got a 4-match ban now.
Yeah, I said at the start of the year, and I'm going to remind you, I said to you went, yeah, great plays, brilliant. Van der Ven and him, brilliant. No, he's a liability. He'll cost you, and he is costing you. And when you get players of his character and nature getting this sort of scrap, actually it brings out the worst in them. It doesn't bring out the best in them. So although he's a World Cup winner, that's correct, isn't it? He's a
World Cup winner.
World Cup winner, right? He has some flaws in his game of discipline, and that's without his social media posts. I'm not even going to go there, but you can always tell. And if I was a striker, someone like Andy Carroll, for example, I would be saying to Andy Carroll, go and play on him, go and upset him, because he's going to, at some point, there's going to be a moment. And unfortunately, the moment arrived at Man United where he overrun the ball, and then he's charged in with, let's just say, an over-physical challenge. I don't think it was reckless to the extent, but it was a red. And now you find yourself in this position. And the reason you're in this position, because the Super Hammers have found some unbelievable form. And the only thing that haunts me about West Ham is that they hold the record for the Premier League of going down with 42 points. I think it was 42. I might be corrected, but I'm sure there's a West Ham fan out there who will remind me. It was either 42 or 41 points, and they went down. And when I look at this league table now, 29-29 at 25 games, Nottingham Forest on 26 and West Ham on 23, they've made it interesting, the Hammers. They've made it interesting. And this is the good news for West Ham. The signings they've made in the window have made a massive impact.
Yeah.
And that's what you need.
Pardew, you've upset the Brighton lot.
Why?
Pardew, ridiculous Palace bias there. They are 1 point ahead of Brighton and hadn't won in 11 before today. And you think they are safe and Brighton are not?
No, because it's that 1 point is significant. I don't think Brighton will go down, but I think they're in it. I think if they lose the next couple,
this is a massive game for me. Spurs have gone 7 league games without a win. On Tuesday night,
7 games. Premier League games.
Premier League games.
Because the Champions League, you're okay.
Yeah. It's 11 league games. We've not won a league game since December.
Wow.
Against Palace.
Okay.
Right? We've got Newcastle at home on Tuesday night. Newcastle haven't done too well away from home.
No, and they're hurting.
Yeah, and they are in a bad place as well. They lost at home to Brentford, didn't they, in the weekend?
They did.
3 goals to 2. If Spurs go and beat Newcastle this Tuesday, it would mean Spurs go on to 32 points, same points as Palace, depending on what Palace do this week as well. But they go a point behind Newcastle. Now, if Spurs go and win that game against Newcastle, are Newcastle then, dragged into that relegation race?
No, I don't think
relegation battle.
No, because, firstly, you got to look at the points total. You got to look at the goal difference, right? Now, when you look at the goal difference of Spurs, it's 0, and Newcastle's is -1.
Spurs have a better goal difference.
No, but I'm not saying that as a negative. What I'm saying is that's a positive sign.
Yes.
When you start getting -13 like Nottingham Forest, -17 like West Ham, you're in trouble. So forget about the points for a minute, and then also look at the squad size and the momentum that you're under. Now you've got no momentum.
No,
right?
none.
Now Newcastle have got, I would say, a little bit of momentum, although they got beat at the weekend. That's a game where both team clubs are hurting, right? And you're right. But I think Spurs win in the week. I think they're out of it. I don't think they're in it.
If we beat Newcastle.
Yeah. There's crucial games now. When you come into 25 games to 30 games, it's absolutely crucial. Because if you're in it on that 30th game, you know what I mean when you're in it, right? If you're like, I don't know, 30 points, 33 points, something like that, and 30 games, and you've got 8 to go, the pressure kicks in. Anything can happen.
Can I throw you Newcastle's fixtures at you?
Go on.
So they come to Tottenham on Tuesday. Then it is a 4th round FA Cup fixture at Villa Park on the Saturday. Then it's the Champions League playoff qualifier.
It's a tough schedule they have.
They're going to Qarabag first.
Yeah.
That's on the Wednesday. Then the Saturday, they go to the Etihad against Manchester City. Then it's back to St James's Park where they host Qarabag. Then it is Everton at home. Then they host Man United. They go away to Chelsea. And then they host Sunderland. And that is all 22nd of March. So how many games got there? 2, 4, 6, 7. Those next 7 games. Wow.
Yeah, and the problem Newcastle have got is very similar to the year I finished 5th with Newcastle. The squad isn't deep enough to cover all the games. It isn't. And they're losing players. I think Gallagher got injured again yesterday. And I'm not sure he's going to make that game against Spurs. So, yeah, it's I'm not entirely convinced that they're out of it, but I still think the squad size and the quality of the manager, I think they're fine. But when you look down the bottom of the league, Nottingham Forest are having a really difficult run, and they are in a lot of trouble. West Ham obviously got momentum. Leeds, although they got that great victory, I mean, they're still in it. They're still right in it. And you guys, well, the win can't come soon enough, can it?
No.
That's the truth of it. It can't come. You look at the squad and you think, no, there's no chance they can get relegated. But teams have been relegated with that quality squad in the past.
Oh, yeah. No club is big enough to go down from the Premier League. You've seen it.
Not.
From the Villas to the West Hams, to the Newcastles that you mentioned.
Yep.
With Spurs, that victory, if they could get it on Tuesday, right, would allow us to bounce into the
Can I ask you?
North London derby.
Can I ask you? You got 60,000, isn't it? Is that the capacity there, or 55? What is it?
Yeah,
midweek game.
Yeah, 60.
Midweek game slightly less.
Depends if people are coming or not. Because at the moment, the Spurs fans are so disillusioned with the club.
That's what the point I was going to make. Right? What will the mood be like? Is it going to be really up? And then initially, and if it all, Newcastle score first, it'll turn.
Oh yeah, you go very toxic quickly.
Yeah. See, that's why I always think when I was a football manager and I was in those situations, pressure situations, away from home sometimes is not a bad place to be. Do you know what I mean? Because, the other team, particularly if they're in it, you can play on that. You can keep it tight. You can make it ugly and make the opposition home team look horrible, and then go on and win it as the game progresses. So, don't think those tactics are not used. They are.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think, listen, if Spurs can get that victory against Newcastle, then it's the North London derby. But you've got a 12-day rest between Newcastle and because it's the FA Cup and we're not in it. So it gives Spurs plenty of time.
No, you got no Champions League.
No, because we qualified.
Of course.
So we've got a big gap there. No excuses. People can be back fit.
Yeah,
but of course, we're going to be without Romero.
Yeah.
Which is back to the point of Romero. Do you sell him because he's a liability? If you're right, he's a great defender. There's no question about that. And he is, for me, you know, the final against Manchester United, which wasn't the best final to watch for fans. It was scrappy. It was hard work. He was the player, one of the players that stood out in that. He even won Player of the Match in the Champions League the other week against Dortmund. He is a great football player, but he has this in him.
World Cup. Of course, he's a great football player, but
he has this in him. But I've said before, Sergio Ramos had this in him. Pepe had this in him. Some of the big players do. If you are the Spurs gaffer pards,
but so Ramos, right? Let's go back to Ramos, right? Because it's an interesting point what you're making, and that's what I was trying to say to you about earlier about your boy, right? The problem he's got at the moment is that he's not top of the league. He's not fighting for a title with Barcelona. You're actually getting beat, and he can't cope with it mentally. It's doing his head in. So he's actually now become a little bit of a liability in that why have I found I'm a World Cup winner? Why have I found myself in this situation? Plus he's a hothead. So it's the layer on layer on layer. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
to you?
Of course.
So that's why I think where he is right now with this team, let's be honest, are dysfunctional at the moment for whatever reason, which we won't need to go into because we talk about Tottenham all the time. But Romero at the moment is, in my opinion, under pressure from the manager,
captain as well,
to take the captaincy off him. And Thomas Frank, knowing him as a personality, I don't think he'll do that. And most managers, I think, would really steer away from it. It's a really toxic thing to do, a dangerous thing to do.
You lose the dressing room.
You could lose the dressing room in doing it.
Yeah. Burnley nil, West Ham 2, as you mentioned before. The Hammers on an absolute roll at the moment, which has put them into the position of getting them out of trouble.
By the way.
Yeah. But that's the one good thing for, say, Spurs and some other clubs, right, is the Burnley-Wolves situation. Those two teams being in the Premier League right now means that there's only one spot. And you're looking at Nottingham Forest in a bad way at the moment. Leeds, obviously, a great win for them on Friday night. 3-1 against Nottingham Forest. You're looking at Forest and you talk about lack of momentum. Wow.
Yeah.
Dicey's under pressure. We don't want to see that with Dicey. We love Dicey. But it does look like he's under a lot of pressure there.
Yeah, of course he is.
And obviously with the manager, we know he's not one to waste around.
No, you mean the owner.
The owner, sorry.
Yeah.
He's not one to stand around. And of course, you want to look at their fixture list.
Well, listen, this is why I go back to the West Ham 42, 41 points when they went down last time, right? Well, not last time, but the time before. It's the lack of points that the two below are gaining. Like Burnley have got 15, Wolves have only got 8. So that third place might be higher than normal.
Yeah.
It might not be 35, 36 points. It might be 39. It might be 40. You know, who knows? So at this point in time, because the form West Ham are in, it is a little bit worrying for the Newcastles, for the Crystal Palaces, for the Brightons, and for the Cockerels.
Forest, they host Wolves on Wednesday, so hopefully they can get some points there they'll probably look at.
Well, that's a must-win game.
Then they've got the playoff of the Europa League. They go away to Fenerbahce, and then they host Liverpool on the Sunday. Then it's Fenerbahce again. Then it's away to Brighton and away to City.
So when you look at that bottom, what have we got? The bottom at the moment, let's take Brighton out of it. If we say Tottenham, Leeds, Forest, West Ham, Burnley, Wolves. West Ham, no European football. Nottingham Forest, European football. Leeds, no European football. Tottenham, European football. It's that's problematic, isn't it? It just is.
But I like the fact that, and you know what, you're giving me a bit of something there with that goal difference situation.
Yeah.
I think that really does play in the hands of the Tottenhams, the Brightons, etc.
Yeah. And too many people ignore, when you look at the top of the league, it speaks for itself. Forget the points, right? Goal difference of Arsenal is 32. And the goal difference of Manchester City is plus 27. And then when you go down to Aston Villa, it's plus 9. So it shows you the margins. It shows you the margins bigger than the points, if that makes sense.
I'll tell you what's a massive game then is West Ham against Manchester United on Tuesday night, of course. Over here on talkSPORT, because if they fail to get a result there and, the others around them push on, then all of a sudden the point gaps get bigger again, and then it's the compounded pressure of losing the game. And
listen, Michael Carrick's an Amma. He's an East End boy. He's not East End boy. He's from the northeast. But he was born and bred and loved in the East End. He's going to look after us.
Right, Spurs host
Michael,
Newcastle.
you can lose that one.
Spurs host Newcastle and West Ham take on Man United live on talkSPORT Network this Tuesday. 2 of 10 Premier League games are live across the talkSPORT Network. Full details on our website, talksport.com. But next up, we want your relegation calls. 03717 22 3344.
I mean, arguably, Crook, it could have been a lot worse than this, couldn't it? We thought it might be. This was an additional charge. There was an additional charge for a failing of an obligation to provide full, complete and prompt assistance to the Premier League. Let's be clear. They tried to use a loophole to stop getting an earlier points deduction when they were in the Premier League. Leicester said it was disproportionate, but did they get off lightly?
Yes. And I think Leicester as a football club have been punished for trying to wriggle out of things by trying to use, as Simon Jordan described, the sort of black hole where they were neither a Championship or a Premier League club in order to dodge the charges. They've caught up with them in the end. I know the Premier League were pushing for as many as 20 points to be taken off Leicester, which pretty much would have resigned them, I think, to League One football next season.
Will they appeal the Premier League that this isn't harsh enough, the punishment?
Well, that's an interesting question because I don't think Leicester will appeal. And maybe risk a further point deduction. I think they should feel they got off lightly. But just looking at their statement, and a lot of Leicester fans have picked up on this, it probably tells you where they're at as a football club. There was no real contrition from Leicester. They're still trying to play the victim for the fact they breached PSR rules to the tune of nearly £21 million. They've brought a lot of this on themselves. They've made bad decision after bad decision. They've hired and fired managers with too much regularity. They've sold players, but replace them with players who aren't up to standard. And that's why we're now in a situation whereby on the 10-year anniversary of Leicester winning the Premier League, defying those odds of 5,000 to 1, 10 years to that very day is the last day of the Championship season. They could find themselves in the third tier.
But hold on a second here. This all unravelled when Brendan Rodgers was in charge, and maybe before it unravelled. It has to be remembered that Leicester City were consistently disrupting the established elite. 2 seasons running, they missed out on Champions League qualification on the final day. They won the FA Cup. They reached a European semi-final. Actually, have Leicester City got a case here of being...
Jimmy now, you know. Flatlands Vindaloo. I can boogie. Need a certain song. The Tartan Army loved that one, didn't they? And that reminds me that Super Ali McCoy, she's back on breakfast tomorrow alongside Jeff Stunning for the Superstar Breakfast here. Is that AC/DC? Oh, it's a great breakfast show, that. They're brilliant in the morning, they are. I do love it. Getting in on the old school run. The kids are like, turn off talkSPORT. I'm like, no, you're listening to the Superstar Breakfast Show. Get over it.
Superstars.
That was our 3 songs of our mystery footballer. Of course, it's Ain't No Doubt by Jimmy Now. Fat Les Vindaloo. There's a double clue there. And yes, sir, I Can Boogie by Baccarat. which is a clue to his famous nickname.
Very attractive lady, I think Becquerel was.
Was it?
Wasn't she? I seem to vaguely remember. The video days. We don't see videos anymore,
Nah.
really, do you?
Well, MTV ceased to transmit from New Year's.
But you go on YouTube and you can see like music.
Do you know what we need to bring back is Top of the Pops?
Yeah, let's bring Top of the Pops back. I used to love Top.
I see an interview with Gary Barlow of why is there not a Top of the Pops anymore? It's like, because nobody cares about the charts.
Oh, Gary.
Right.
I wish he'd stop dancing.
I love Gary. Listen, he can dance if he wants, okay?
No, he's too old.
I'll tell you who might get angry at
Sing.
I'll tell you who might get angry at Gary's dancing. Is my mate Matt from the Spurs, who's known as the Angry Matt.
Right.
But I just called him Matt, because he's not always angry.
Would you think he'd be angry about him dancing?
He'd be angry about his dancing.
Yeah, I'm angry about
How are we, Matt?
All good, mate. All good. All good.
Does Gary Barlow's dancing make you angry?
Oh, mate, he's singing, yeah.
I leave me singing alone. He's a fantastic singer-songwriter.
I don't know.
Matt, I'm going to see you Tuesday night, aren't I?
Yeah, we'll catch up. We'll catch up, definitely. Just to start with, PJ Mowell and that Craig Pawson, utter disgrace. And I mean utter disgrace. The way they make these decisions, mate, you know, whether you play park football or whether you're a professional footballer or even a semi-professional, whatever you are, mate, are they for real for making those decisions? And I want to go to the point of that moment, you know, when they disallowed the goal for Semenyo at Newcastle Man City in the Cup a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Why did they disallow that?
I can't.
Do you remember?
No. Go on, tell us.
Well, when Semenyo headed it in,
it's interference, wasn't it?
And what's his name was cuddling. Erling Haaland was cuddling the centre half, and they decided to come up with something to disallow that goal. Yeah,
that was the point Pep was making about they're just every little detail is scrutinised, every tiny detail.
Listen, we can take that, Alan. We can take that. They can scrutinise what they want. But the facts, mate, the facts. He's cuddling, he's turning round, he's cuddling the centre half, and they disallow that goal. Now, 24 hours later, the same thing happens when Ben White comes in, headers it in, and was it Gokares that was cuddling the centre half? And they give it. Now, it baffles me. Honestly, for the life of me, I don't know why is this happening in our game? We're supposed to have the best game, the best league in the world. Mate, the PGMOL, Howard Webb, whatever his name is, Craig Pawson, DerMOT, Gallagher, you're all useless. Waste of space, every single one of you. For them for Alan, this is one I want to sort of point out to you. If there was a incident, attacking, one team's attacking, and he fouls, but he wins the ball, and then they go out the other end and they score. What do? They pick up, the VAR goes, hang on a minute, the team just scored, the other opposition just scored. So they go, hang on a minute, something's happened down the other end. So they switch it down the other end and go, hang on a minute, he's fouled him, it's a penalty. So they take the goal away and give a penalty to the other team. Do they not?
Well, I'm still getting over the throw-in, the Aston Villa goal. Was it the Aston Villa goal?
Mate.
Was that incredible?
Mate, I know. But remember that incident, right? Then all of a sudden, today, Slobozai pulls Haaland. Haaland's either going to protect that ball from, if it's not going to go in, he's going to kick it in.
Yeah.
But he's there. He's 2 yards away from literally putting it into the back of the net. Slobozai pulls him. And then he gets in front of him by knocking him off his pace. He gets in front of him, then he pulls him. In what world do they decide to go, hang on a minute, indirect free kick? And the thing is, where did they pull that free kick out to decide to put it where they put it? Mate, honestly, this is why my football club, the way they run the football club. Mate, what's going on? What is going on?
You need to support Bromley with me now, man. That's where I've gone.
You might get natural football if you go down those divisions.
Well,
mate.
You do. You get 90-minute winners.
Don't get VAR.
Don't get VAR.
Mate, honestly,
the referee has to make a decision and stand by it.
Mate. It's killed the game.
It's killed the human joy, like the limbs that the City fans had there. You know, it is going against sort of human judgment. Like, I think the jeopardy of the game, and you know, how many times have we seen it over the years, Matt, where Spurs have been penalised with the lack of VAR. For example, when Pedro Mendes scores that goal at Manchester United, which is miles over the line, we didn't have goal line tech. You got to move on with it, innit?
Yeah, I get it. But for the life of me, he scored the goal today. He scored.
I know.
How does he decide that Erling Haaland's made the foul when Szoboszlai made the foul? And then instead of Craig Paulson having and go, hang on a minute, the ball's gone in the back of the net. Let's just leave it. It's the 98th minute. Let's just leave it like that. No, let's give Liverpool a chance to score a goal down the other end. And in the meantime, I'll just give Szoboszlai a red card. Mate, honestly, I've never seen anything like this in my life.
No. Listen, I'm really, I don't know what feelings I would say. I would say I'm upset about it. That's what I am. I'm upset. I wouldn't say I'm infuriated. I'm really upset. And the point that Madge made was exactly right, because it's the people who are paying the money in the stadium who are suffering most, aren't they? Because they don't get an action replay. You're watching the game, you don't know what's going on.
What's going on here? People are saying that the Championship, etc., is a more exciting day out and watch because you don't have it ruined. Matt, quickly before we go, are Spurs in a relegation battle?
Absolutely, 100%.
Oh,
there you go. You heard it from Matt. I mean, Matt, obviously.
Matt, do you think we get anything Tuesday against Newcastle?
No. Do you know what? I've got people that I know that are come to the stage where how bad can it be before there's a change? Before these fans realise there's a change. And I remember having this first conversation with Alan Pardew and you when Alan turned around and went, oh, he'll get it right at Tottenham. Mate, Thomas Frank isn't a Tottenham manager. First things first. You can see him when he walks on that football field. He doesn't even pass the halfway line clapping to the Spurs fans because he knows he's going to get abused because his football is dire, the team is dire. That's the only grace I'll give Thomas Frank because the club has literally dug him a grave. But he's not good enough. He should never have been appointed. And if they really, really, really thought about this, and I know it was that parasite previous chairman that was doing everything, but what was the difference between him and Ange? At least Ange, you won the trophy, and he should have been given the opportunity to actually, you know what, gung-ho next season, and then if he got sacked, he got sacked. But to bring this guy in, for the life of me, Brentford the 7th, they're playing good football with less players than they had last year and a novice of a manager. Alan, please tell me, how can anybody decide that Thomas Frank should be a manager of Tottenham Hotspur? Honestly, I don't even see him as a West Ham manager. So
well, that's nice of you. No, you don't even see him as a West Ham manager.
Matt, thank you, mate. We're going to talk more on Tuesday when I come up and see at his burger van.
He's angry. He's definitely angry.
He's got he's got a lot to say, but he's every right. He's there.
No, I get it.
He lives it. He breathes it.
Listen, and when you've suffered as many home defeats as you guys,
mate, honestly, that's a joke. And the money that they ask for the tickets is just ludicrous. But hopefully Tuesday we get a win against Newcastle, which of course is here on talkSPORT. 03717 223344. You know what night it is? It's the Super Bowl. We're going to speak all things Super Bowl with Coach Pards next.
You can believe what? Why is it so hard to believe a black man than a white man? Understand me?
Yeah.
Why is it so hard to believe a black man than a white man?
Why you don't believe?
Why is it?
Let me answer the question.
Yeah, go on.
So we can go there.
First and foremost, it's got nothing to do with colour.
No, it does. This whole country got some. This whole world got something to do with race. You think you pan out? You think you have a? You think you done had a great life? You think your life has been like mine?
How is Derek Chisora then, out of curiosity, given he's a black man, a national treasure in this country then? It's not about colour. You called somebody a cheat. I asked you a question.
Come on. You have a whole lot of black people around
the question.
Thank
like
you.
the question.
Stop, bro.
You like the question. All right, I moved on.
Stop it.
I moved on.
Man, come on, man. Y'all can't tell, man.
So the bronze bomber, there he is.
Yeah, come on, man.
Come on, we can have a disagreement, can't we?
Life, as a little boy and I bet your view as a little boy is totally different than my view as a little boy. Most black people, why we so into it with each other, because we have PTSD. We done been through so much so much
you wanted to move on, right?
Come on, man. It's hard to move on when you don't know the truth, and that's when I come in and try to give you a vision, a little insight of what we go through as black people, man.
I got it.
You don't get it.
Well, okay.
None of y'all get it.
Where do you want me to go?
Y'all don't get it. And that's the problem. You think you get what you don't understand.
Okay.
Why is it so hard?
Pull it back into the fight. Let's talk about the fight.
It's hard to put it back. I'm from the South. You understand?
Come on, let's pull it back into the fight.
It's hard when y'all don't understand.
I get it.
Another situation. I said I didn't want to talk about the situation. Now you got me riled up.
Fair enough.
Wilder's back. I feel. You understand me?
Got it.
You don't mean that, man.
Okay, stop
man, let me get the out of here, bro. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Talking about my peoples and all that. It's hard to believe a black man than a white man. The cheated. Tell him to sue me so I can show the facts early. Because when the documentary and everything, the story come out, I'm going to show everything.
Fantastic.
I'm going to get all the people that know and all the people that's in the inside. He got people that the inside of him. That can know. I don't, what? I don't about that.
I'm not a Fury
I don't about it. I said we didn't want to bring him up in the first place. It ain't got to do with him.
Fair enough.
The you talking about?
The New England Patriots are back in the Super Bowl.
Nobody really believed in us and you know, what we can do.
Touchdown, Patriots! I tell you, that guy right there, Drake May. Pass it back, baby, we gotta go win one. And a new era of Patriots football.
Everybody's journey to this league looks a little different. Just like everybody's journey to the Super Bowl looks a little different.
Touchdown, Seahawks! JFN!
Whatever it takes, you know, for us to get the job done, you know, I'm going to do.
10-5, touchdown, Rashid Shaheed! The Seahawks take it 96 yards all the way for a touchdown.
Oh, here we come, man. They done it all year. We in the bowl, man.
It's a rematch with the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara.
It's that time. It's Super Bowl time here on talkSPORT Parts.
You know what I can't quite work out?
What's that?
You've gone for comedic visual aids and it's a radio station.
Well, we're live on YouTube.
Oh yeah, of course.
And we're on that amazing smart TV. That's
do
a
like
good
your
reminder.
hat. I do like your hat.
Do you like my hat? I've got an amazing oversized. I don't know where this has come from. And I got the pigskin in my hands. Shall I toss the pigskin to Parts?
Yeah,
how'd you catch your Parts?
Yeah.
Oh, he's made the catch.
Spiral.
We need Big Will Gavin commentary. It's fine. He's a touchdown. It's ridiculous. But it is time for the Super Bowl, the evening where I become an NFL fan. I'm one of them. It comes on. It's the Super Bowl.
You're in it.
I'm up. I'm on X.
I can never get past half time. I get to half time. I'm like, the eyes are gone. You know, just before half time.
I know tonight you went Bad Bunny's got a performance ready for you.
Yeah, I'm not really into Bad Bunny, so I'm not even going to make half time.
Whoa. Hey,
no.
Not in the Puerto Rican.
He only speaks Spanish. Does he
Yeah.
speak in Spanish? I don't understand what he's talking about. I like to understand the words.
Well, learn your Spanish.
Okay, I'm going to get that on my AI. Get me glasses on.
Yeah, exactly.
Translate.
The Super Bowl is only hours away, and talkSPORT will be live.
What's the name of the trophy?
What's the name of the trophy?
Vince Lombardi Trophy. Why is it?
Vincent Lombardi.
You know, why was he Vince Lombardi? Why is it called after him?
Why?
Because he's famous Green Bay Packers team, right? Sort of like, you know, the Man United of the 60s or whatever.
Okay.
And he was a proper character, like the Brian Clough of the NFL.
Well, I went to school with a Thomas Lombardi.
Okay.
So, good evening to Thomas.
Hello,
Lombardi.
Thomas. Yeah, I don't know what you got to do with this conversation, but it's nice that you're involved.
We had a good time on a Russian school trip once.
Did you?
He's a good lad. Right, the Super Bowl's only hours away, and talkSPORT will be live from the West Coast, bringing you the action as the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks go head-to-head for the Vince Lombardi Trophy. We'll have live play-by-play commentary from Levi Stadium of the sport's biggest spectacle. You'll also be able to watch our commentary team calling the action live on the talkSPORT YouTube channel, and we bring the NFL season to a close with a matchup you do not want to miss. The Patriots versus the Seahawks in Super Bowl 60, live on talkSPORT tonight from 11 p.m. And let me tell you something. One thing we do on this station.
I've got a quote for you from Vince Lombardi. You ready?
Yeah.
This is for Spurs fans everywhere, right? On excellence, perfection is not attainable. But if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence.
I like that.
There you go. There you go. Here's your quote.
Right, here's talkSPORT's very own Bill Varney with all you need to know before the big event.
Good evening, guys. Really can't wait for this one. Super Bowl 60 live from Levi Stadium, coming your way on talkSPORT from just before 11 p.m. tonight. We're going to be at Levi's, bring you live in stadium, play-by-play commentary. Will Gavin, former Patriots offensive lineman Ross Tucker, and host of the NFL Daily podcast, Greg Rosenthal, on the call. It's a fascinating matchup. The Patriots taking on the Seahawks. Everyone's heard of the Patriots, right? Whether it's been Tom Brady and Bill Belichick from years gone by, they're chasing an historic 7th Lombardi Trophy tonight, but there's been a change of culture. It's a new era. Mike Vrabel's their head coach. He's somebody who knows this organisation so well, being a former player. They have a star quarterback in Drake May, but they come into this game as underdogs. They're taking on the Seattle Seahawks, a team that headed into this season not really with a chance. People saw them going into it as a reset. But right now, they have a star quarterback in Sam Darnold themselves, a fantastic head coach in Mike McDonald, and they just continue to impress. I'm predicting a big win for the Seahawks tonight. I think they just win their 2nd Lombardi Trophy. I think I'm going to give you a prediction because I'm nice. I've been saying it all week. Seahawks 27, Patriots 10. We're on our way to Santa Clara. Can't wait to bring you the action later tonight on talkSPORT.
Oh, it's got me excited, Pards. And you got a story about a West Ham coach and Super Bowl connection, right?
Yeah, the defensive coordinator is Aidan Durdy, right? He's, played for the NFL teams in England, London, and Manchester and elsewhere. But he's a West Ham fan, not real proper West Ham fan, and he's like a massive coach in terms of he's looking after all the defensive coordination tonight. But he's been interviewed for head coach. Can you imagine a British guy becoming head coach?
Wow!
Of a franchise of the NFL, that'd be amazing. And I hope they win. Aidan Durd.
Durd. So it'll be Coach Durd.
Coach Durd.
Coach Durd.
We're going to see that through, Coach Durd.
Let's go, Coach Durd. Coming up after us tonight, of course, at 9 o'clock is the Transfer Express with Danny Kelly. And we are watching half-time at Juventus against Lazio. It's currently Juventus 0, Lazio 1 at half-time. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll have lots to talk about on the Transfer Express. But 03717 223344. Coming up before that as well, we're going to reveal the mystery footballer and hear from a referee. We've already had a legend on.
Well, I like referees calling in. I think, it's all right. It's nice to hear from them.
Don't know if you're right referees in your day, though, Pards. 03717 223344.
Let's focus on Chelsea. Liam Rosenior back pages again. Rosenior hits out at Arsenal. Chelsea head coach accused the opponents of disrespect for disrupting his side's warm-up before the cup tie.
I wouldn't come out with that, me.
I guess he was asked about it.
Bat it away, use your brains, use your head, say, oh, mate, what's your point? You saying that costs the game? No.
He got a bit excited, didn't he? Really, you saw if you've watched the video. I'd love to see how far onto their side of the pitch they were, because they didn't pan round, did they? They just showed him giving a bit to somebody. You didn't see who it was at. You didn't see how far they were into there. If they're right in their half and they're constantly doing it, then I get it. I understand it. But still, it's just calm it down.
Rosinia mentioned that it could be mind games, though. Do you believe that the Arsenal players were creeping into that half to get in their heads, or was it just a genuine?
They've done the job either way. They've got in their head either way.
Well, now he's talking about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Shaban, I don't know. Arsenal were favourites to win that game for me. Why would you? Nah. Maybe you might say, look, you know the rules, stay in your own half. But nah, I think we're looking at a big problem here that's not a problem.
Yeah, I don't think they need to resort to doing that, Arsenal.
Yeah, he said in the interview, I've never asked my team to approach on the opposition's territory. I didn't think it was right. Where they were operating, they were affecting my lads' warm-up. What's your thoughts on Rosinia?
I'm still a little bit waiting for it, to be honest with you. The results are ultimately going to be the thing that dictates whether he's a success or not. Some of the things he comes out and says, obviously the world that we live in now, social media, they're so quick to make memes of, honestly, Alan. I don't know if you're on Twitter, Instagram, any of this kind of stuff.
A little, but not really.
It's brutal, honestly. It's a brutal place to be at times. They are so quick at making these memes of David Brent and all that. And that, I think, subconsciously seeps into people's minds and it makes their mind up for them. But yeah, I think, like I say, it's just going to be down to results. It is simple as that.
And you've got to be able to, I think, laugh that off as well. I mean,
Jimmy Nell with Ain't No Doubt into Fat Les with Vindaloo. This is like the craziest sort of album of all time. Now, that's what I call random. Yes, Sir, I Can Boogie, due to his famous nickname. So, Ain't No Doubt, Jimmy Nell, of course, Big Geordie, as you said. He's a big Geordie as well, isn't he? I reckon he'd be good at the back post.
Oh, definitely. That's what you need at fullback, someone who can defend the far post.
Fat Les, Vindaloo, there's a double clue there because Fat Les and the England World Cup song in '98 was Vindaloo was one of those. And then the third one was Yes Sir, I Can Boogie, clue to his famous nickname. Did you get it?
I did get it, but I didn't know the last one. I don't know.
No, I don't know what his famous nickname. Oh, Sir. Yes, sir. I get it.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, that's
scraping there, weren't we?
Yeah, a little scraping. But it was Les Ferdinand, of course.
Yeah, Sir Les.
Sir Les. Particularly if you're a QPR fan, Sir Les.
Tottenham fan.
Tottenham fan.
Newcastle fan.
Newcastle fan.
It's the legend, really.
Yeah, I like Les. Lovely man.
Yeah, I think he's a top striker. Again, it shows you the.
And this is why it goes back when you have conversations about the levels, and they go, in the modern game, these players. We can imagine Les Ferdinand. What would he be worth in this league now, Premier League?
150 mil.
He's up there with Haaland, isn't he? He's
goes for fun.
Proper player.
Like, this is the thing. This is why we are seeing such inflated prices on strikers, etc. Because there aren't any. Imagine being Robbie Fowler, Les Ferdinand, Stan Collymore, and Andy Cole. All of that mob there when you had Sheringham and.
But
Shearer.
one of the problems. One of the problems is there's only one spot.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've got two wide players and one up through the middle, and they've got to have all sorts of different kind of skills to play that role.
Bring back 4-4-2.
Correct.
Big man, little man.
It goes around in circles. It'll come back in some form.
Who could be a deadly duo in the Premier League as a striker pairing?
Striker pairing. Well, Semenyo could be a good number 10. I'd like to see him play there.
What? Just straight?
As a striker, stroke, fill in.
Haaland and Semenyo as a 4-4-2. Wow.
There you go.
Oh, that will win you the league. So many people got it right, including Les the Black Cabbie, who's still cheesed off with Spurs. And talking of England, we have to doff our cap to the England rugby team for sweeping Wales aside in the Six Nations, whilst the England cricket team defeated Nepal in the T20 World Cup.
We were talking about Great Ormond Street. We're on a different conversation me and you were having. With a black cabbie, you get in a black cab, you go to Great Ormond Street, don't charge you. Do you know that?
Yeah, they're good like that.
That's lovely, isn't it? We black cab. We like black cabs.
And a lovely cab driver on the way in here who was like a Millwall fan, but not.
They can be a Millwall fan, but not.
Not really followed them for years, and I was telling him how.
Not having him. Not having him. Not having him.
But I do love to jump into a black cab when I come out of Liverpool Street Station.
Well, you can imagine I've had many conversations in a black cab.
Pards, what's going on with our team?
What's happening?
What's going on with our team?
Can't you come and sort it out?
Right, it is time for us to hear from another referee. We've had DerMOT Gallagher, but now we've got Chris, the Liverpool fan, that joins us. How are we, Chris?
Evening, gents. You all right?
Yeah, very well indeed. I'm excited to hear what you got to say on this. Our producer, Ross, is very excited with what you got to say in regards to that decision.
Good. Right. Well, I'm not quite at DerMOT Gallagher's level, but I do Saturday and Sunday games. I have to give a shout out to Ref because the thing about common sense is if I do Saturday and Sunday games, as I've said, if I was to apply just common sense on my decisions, then I get shouted at enough. I can't, or as a ref, we can't go on common sense.
No.
And you read on just reading people's comments, the talking about referees like we're not humans, like it's just infuriating. It's really infuriating. I'd like someone to explain to me what it means by common sense on that decision. So, where do you apply common sense? Should it be an offside decision? Is that something where if it's only a tone, offside is offside, isn't it? That what happened with Thomas-Line Haaland was in black and white. There's no going back on that. It is what it is. That is the law. So that's why the ref had to do what he had to do. There's no.
Just go back to that. Just talk about that decision because I agree with you. Common sense is a strange word for it. It perhaps the wrong terminology, but you know, in the spirit of the game, perhaps is a better thing to say.
But we can't. As a ref, when I do a Sunday game and I'm being screened at by
listen, I've seen enough Sunday morning games to know exactly what you've gone, what you go through. You ain't got to tell me, right? So I know that.
Exactly that, mate. Exactly that.
No,
so
I get that. But when we go back to this decision,
I've been in a situation myself. So I've had there's been a player that I've had to send off because he scored a goal. He took his top off, and that was his second yellow. Common sense, if you want to put it in the common sense terms of it, common sense should have been I should have turned a blind eye and said, blind eye and not sent him off. But I can't do that because if I don't send him off,
but that is a rule that we know. So listen, I want to go back to this today, the decision today. He plays advantage to referee, right? And I believe he should have played in the spirit of the game, advantage for the second incident. That's my argument. And the goal should have stood and he shouldn't have got sent off. That's where I stand on that.
As a Liverpool supporter, that would have been good for me for Thomas-Line.
Yeah, exactly.
But could you imagine what rests on that one goal? You know, at my level,
exactly.
If that one goal, but how much that one goal could make a difference to the league? And I'm talking about this like as a Sunday and Saturday ref. It doesn't matter. Well, it does. It does to the players that are playing. It matters, of course, it does. But like you say, common sense is the wrong term, and I think that is. You could say spirit of the game, but the laws are there in black and white, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what, to go back to this shirt celebration, like taking off the shirt, and you know what you said, Pards, about spirit of the game, then again, perhaps things need to be brought into the rules. So, like you said, there is a no grey area. Like, for example...
What about David Moyes the other day when he celebrates against the yellow card?
Yeah.
Manager.
No, but what I'm saying is, for example, if you get a yellow card for taking your shirt off, right, and it's your first offence, then cool. But if you're already on a yellow card and you take your shirt off, maybe there should be a rule where it's like you don't get another yellow card or something.
I don't know about that, but I understand your point, like a lesser charge.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, a lesser thing.
Maybe a fine or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe either it's a yellow card.
But I think we've got... This is a good point he's bringing up, and he's right. Common sense is not the right terminology to be used.
Spirit of the game, I like.
Spirit of the game sounds a little bit more...
Sotka.
More feasible, because it's about the enjoyment of the game. It's about honesty with managers and officials and players and everyone singing off the same hymn sheet. It's a debatable one, and I'm pretty sure if you're a referee, you're on one side of the fence, and I'm very much as a football manager on the other side of the fence, where I think spirit of the game can come into refereeing.
Well, speaking of referees, earlier on the show, we had an absolute TalkSPORT exclusive with legendary referee DerMOT Gallagher. He's one of those names that, as a fan, you refer to DerMOT Gallagher.
Yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah, and he's still a bit, he's a bit...
Clattenburg, he's up there. Clattenburg's doing the Gladiators now, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
And he does the Scottish accent as well. Contender ready. I love it. But yeah, we had DerMOT Gallagher on earlier on, and former Premier League manager and former Premier League ref went at it. And you can now watch this on YouTube. So check it out on YouTube now. Alan Pardew and former Premier League ref DerMOT Gallagher get into the controversial decision at Anfield, which meant Szoboszlai got sent off. Cherky didn't get his goal, and Manchester City didn't get their 3-1 lead. It was no good. Quickly, pause before we move on.
By the way, just going back on because I'm a stat man.
You do like a stat.
The goal difference would read 28 goals tonight for Manchester City and 32 from Arsenal, which is achievable. Because if you're going to catch them with 6 points, you're probably going to get those 6 goals.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
or 4 or 5 of those goals. So that goal could well be crucial.
Could be crucial. Yeah. Speaking of goals, of course, Arsenal have scored 7 Premier League goals in 2 games. Gyökeres scored twice against Sunderland. They're 6 points clear of Manchester City. But
not from Arsenal fan tonight, have we really?
No, not really. But I think maybe they're just watching on, just a bit like, that nervous laugh.
Nelly.
That nervous laugh where they're like, no, we're still...
I think we'll win it. I think we'll win it. Yeah, I think we'll win it.
I'm speaking to one of my good friends who's a big Arsenal fan, Billy. Hello to Bill. Give him a wink. He said he's put £100 on City to win the league today, 6-1.
He's put what?
He's put £100 on the City to win the league today at 6-1.
This is a fallback.
Yeah, as a fallback, because then at least he's got something to have at the end of the season. But, listen, Arsenal are in the driving seat. It is Arsenal's league to lose. It's as simple as that. They are by far the most oiled machine in the Premier League right now. They have got the depth of squad, envious of most squads. Most of their big players are fit, firing. Gyökeres is scoring.
And I would say, and I'm going to put another little one on there, they are the best organised team.
Yes.
Defensively and offensively. So if you was to say to me, oh, Mr. Pardew, would you like to have Manchester City for this run-in? Or would you like to have Arsenal for this run?
Arsenal.
And literally what you're walking into the changing rooms tonight, Arteta has decided to retire to the Thailand or wherever. I would choose Arsenal over Manchester City all day.
Right, the breakfast show, TalkSPORT's breakfast show returns on Monday morning where Jeff Stedding is joined by Super Ali McCoist, and they'll be joined by big-name guests, including former Spurs fullback Pascal Chimbonda's in the house and former Man United super sharpshooter Dwight York. Now, he was a striker, wasn't he? But if you need some music in your life, swipe across on the TalkSPORT app to Virgin Radio Breakfast Show with Chris Evans. They brought TFI Friday back on the Virgin YouTube channel. It's brilliant.
Really?
Go and watch it. It's amazing.
What, musical stars singing?
People come
live,
chatting and
Is Chris doing it?
Yeah, Chris doing it. It's brilliant. TFI. TGI is the restaurant. On TalkSPORT. On TalkSPORT this evening at 11 o'clock.
TFI is the restaurant. Yeah. You're dead right.
No, TFI is the program. TGI is the restaurant. The NFL tonight.
Tremendous milkshakes.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. Thousands of calories, hence my shape. Seahawks take on the Patriots at the Super Bowl 60. The final word returns next Sunday, but next up, it's one of the best shows on radio as the brilliant Danny Kelly brings you the Trans Europe Express here right tonight on TalkSPORT. But from me, Madge, and him, Parts,
it's a very good night.